and I got maintenance done on this car as well.
Who gives a rat's behind whether you got maintenance done on the car? Who do you expect to make a present to you? The credit union?
Looking for a free ride.
Even a rent-a-wreck you can't rent for $200 a month. You had the car 9 months, it's $1,800. That's a lot more than you've been paying. Forget your claim. Now, let's go to your counterclaim, which is... All right, Miss Brinkley, let me see if I understand this rather convoluted story. The plaintiff is your boyfriend's daughter.
That is correct.
And you had a car that you were interested in getting rid of, selling. You still had payments on that car to your credit union.
That is correct.
So you and the plaintiff agreed that she would take the car, is that right?
Yes.
And you would take over the payments.
True.
And that was your agreement, that
Yes.
you would make timely payments on this car. What kind of car was it?
It was a 91 Honda Civic.
And in what month did you take the car?
In July of 98.
And then, according to these papers, there was some problem with the credit union, and they now want to repossess the car.
That is correct, Your Honor. The payments were neither timely or consistent.
You still have the car.
Yes, I do.
Now, Ms. Turner, what I find interesting is you're suing her
Correct.
for the amount that you paid so far on the car.
True.
Now, you've had the car July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and March.
True.
9 months. True, right?
Yes, that's true.
And you use this car to get to work?
True. In other places.
And other places. And how much can you prove to me that you've paid on this car?
Well, I have my my receipts that I
Okay.
have for the.
Have you paid every month?
Yes, I have.
Have you paid late?
Only on one occasion.
Your
Let me
Honor?
see.
This one was only on one occasion.
Well, you can't show me just the one that you paid late. Show me all the others.
Oh, okay. This is the first one as well.
She's not going to do this one at a time. There are 9 months here.
There you go.
Okay. What month? What day of the month are the payments due?
The 15th of the month.
Did you explain that to her?
Yes, I did.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So here we have one that was purchased on the 22nd of the month. Well, evidently you missed one payment. You missed a payment because then you made 2 payments in October.
Yes, I did.
Well, so it wasn't timely in October or September. Is that right?
Yes.
Then you've got one here on November the 30th.
True.
Well, that's not the 15th of the month.
I know.
Well, that's more than one. So far we have of the
The
three
one
that you
that's
gave
for
me,
three.
all three were late. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3.
That one right there covers 2 months, which is for, I believe, June and July. That's why it's $375.
Your Honor?
The payments are $255.
It's $232.
Well, 232 times 2 is not 375.
But she told me that was the amount.
Whatever. I'm just telling
Okay.
you, that's not 2 payments.
Well,
It's
she
one
told me
payment
that
and a
amount,
couple
so I
of
was
days.
going by what she had said to me.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 payments here.
True.
You keep saying true, as if I'm not getting something, madam. You had the
Okay.
car 9 months. You made 5 payments.
In December of '98, she told me verbally not to pay any more payments to the car due to the fact that she told me that she would call me back.
Your
When
Honor?
she called me back
Yeah.
and told me, she said that the credit union wanted a payoff or they wanted the car. And I told her, okay, that's fine. So she said, well, we'll deal with this situation in January of '99.
Put your hand down.
So when January came and she told me that they wanted to get the car refinanced in my name or they wanted to pay off, I told Doris, as well as Star from the credit union, I needed this in writing of the closing balance. Never got it, never received it, never.
Just a second. Shh. Madam, Miss Turner, just listen to me.
Okay.
You called the people who had the note for the car. You said, I want a payoff. You didn't get it. You call them back, and you say, I didn't get the payoff. What you did was just stop making payments.
Because it was told to me verbally not to make any more payments to get
By
the car
whom?
financed from Doris.
Did you? Simple. Did you ever tell us to stop making payments on the car?
No, Your Honor, that is not true.
Excuse me, that is incorrect.
What I told her, Your Honor, was that the credit union was pressing for outside financing and that she had to get outside financing or turn the car into the credit union.
Okay, well,
You did not tell me not to pay
No,
the
I
payment.
did
Don't
not
speak to each other.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
ladies. Who are you?
I'm her boyfriend.
What do you know about it?
I used to. I actually talked to her on several occasions about the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you? Not yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Did you ever drive the car?
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. I drove it a lot.
You drove it a lot.
Yeah. Yes. I'm sorry.
And when you stand still.
Oh.
And when you drove the car, did you drive it last month?
I drove it.
Did you drive it
I
last
drove
month?
it last month.
Did you drive it last week?
I drove it last week.
Perfect.
But I don't want to say that when she called, she said not to make any payments, right? We trust in her that, you know, and you know, in our best interest that not to make the payments. We believe in her that, you know, that she has something else in mind. But don't get me wrong, the car was a blessing that she gave it to us. But she was, it was just all kind of stuff. First she said, when she got mad with, over the ticket or whatever, first she said that the credit union didn't believe us.
Excuse
didn't
me, Your
believe
Honor.
her.
Just, Ms.
First she said
could
they
you
didn't
be quiet
believe
for a
her.
second?
Sure.
And then they
I'm just
believed
going to
that
let
we
him
had the car or
finish it.
whatever. But
Are you almost finished?
huh?
Are you almost finished?
Oh yeah, I'm
Good.
finished.
Sit. Sit down. Ms. Turner, when I read these papers, both your claim and her counterclaim, I thought both of you were crazy. You've been driving a car for 9 months. 9 months. You've paid a total on that car that you've been driving for 9 months, maybe $1,300. In total is what you've paid for the car that you've driven around for 9 months. You can't rent a car for that for 9 months.
That's what I'm saying.
You're absolutely right. So you want her to give you back everything that you've paid for the car.
That's right, including other things that I've got done. I got maintenance done on this car as well.
Who gives a rat's
registration and
behind whether
everything.
you got maintenance done on the car? You drove it for 9 months. Who do you expect to make a present to you? The credit
We gotta
union?
get a car back.
Hey,
We gotta get a car back. So
good. Renting any car, even a rent-a-wreck, you can't rent for $200 a month. You had the car 9 months, it's $1,800. That's a lot more than you've been paying.
She said
Forget
nothing.
your claim. Now, let's go to your counterclaim, which is equally as stupid.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Grow up.
Well,
You're driving a car now for the last 3 months and not paying on it. What do you expect them to do? Send you a greeting card?
And later today,
I mean, you have to know my mother. I mean, this is a woman who you can mop the floor and she'll find a strand of mop hair and ask you why you didn't mop the floor.
I want you to be quiet now.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Quanisha Turner is suing her father's girlfriend, Doris Brinkley, for payments made on a car before it was repossessed.
You say that you haven't seen the car.
No, I haven't.
But you want to be compensated for all the aggravation, A, for all the aggravation, and B, because you think that it's going to probably need a lot of repair. Shh, quiet. A lot of repairs, and there was damage done on it.
That is incorrect, Your Honor. What I'm suing for, my counterclaim states that I'm suing for recovery of the car pending assessment of damage because I received a phone call from Lavelle Johnson that the car was torn up when I placed a stolen car report on it when I tried to recover it through the police.
Listen to me. First of all, it's up to the credit union. It's up to the credit union to get that car back. They're looking for it.
Yes, they are.
They're looking for it.
Yes, they are.
excuse me.
What?
I would like to know, how could she say that she ever had the car when she told the credit union lawyer named Mike that he called my job and told me that she told him that I took the car forcibly from her. That's why she reported the car stolen on me on February the 2nd. Now, I work for a bank.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
That could have been a felony on me, and I could have lost my job. He called me at my job numerous of times, just back to back, back to back.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Grow up.
Well,
You're driving a car now for the last 3 months and not paying on it. What do you expect them to do? Send you a card?
how could I send
Send
payments
you a
if she
greeting
told
card?
me verbally not to pay
You
him?
call up the credit union. That's what I'm telling you. Grow up.
I have.
Grow
They
up.
won't give me any information because
Okay.
the car is in her name.
Very
she
good.
won't give me
Listen,
they wouldn't give me
fine,
any
this
information.
lawsuit is very easy. You have a claim against her, you think, for all the money that you spent on a car. I just told you that you have a claim against her for nothing. You've been driving around a car for the last 9 months, and you spent less than about $150 a month to drive around in a car, use it to get to work, use it for entertainment. You are entitled to nothing back. The credit union said, I want my payments in a timely fashion. If you had made your payments, quiet, on the 15th of the month, as you were told, maybe the credit union would have said, fine, we got somebody who's a good payer. You, on the other hand, want to have prospective possible damages to the car. If this car is recovered, and I assume it will be, you will see whether there are any damages done to the car. At that time, you have perfect right to file a claim. Right now, I can't tell what the damages are to the car. Your counterclaim is... Quiet. Your counterclaim is dismissed, and your claim is dismissed. And I'm telling you that that car better be returned, otherwise they're going to come to get you. And if you work, especially if you work for a bank, I would suggest to you that you run, don't walk, to the car that brought you here and turn it over to the credit union. Say nothing! That's all.
All right, y'all excuse you may step out.
Can I have my receipts back?
I think Ms. Judy was fair in her ruling on the situation.
I just feel that you shouldn't do business with your father, baby mothers, you know, because he has plenty of kids. So, you know, that's all I'm thinking. That's all I have to say.
And now the next case.
Party's on Brito versus Parker. Step forward, please.
49-year-old administrator Severina Brito is suing her son, 26-year-old college student Colangelo Parker Jr., for a huge phone bill. Colangelo claims he paid by doing chores.
Mrs. Brito, this is your son?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
26.
According to your complaint, your son was visiting for a couple of months. Is that right?
That's correct.
How long had you been out of the house?
I left in '92 to go to school.
And you came back to visit when?
November 5th, the day before my birthday.
Okay. And you came back for a long visit?
2 weeks the first time, then a second time since then.
Second time, how long?
Since November 17th totally, because I missed my mom, so I had to come back.
How long were you visiting your mother in total?
In total.
A month?
3 months.
3 months?
Yes.
Were you working when you were there?
Not at first, no.
After a while, did you start to work?
Yes, I did. I now work.
So while you were living with your mother, you were working?
No, after I left my mom, I started working.
According to your complaint, while your son was visiting with you, he racked up a phone bill that made your eyes pop.
Sure did.
How much was his phone bill?
Total $488.75, and I rounded it off to $500 due to the aggravation.
$488.95.
Flabbergasted.
Your Honor.
Children always give you aggravation. Let me see the phone bill. Looks like an encyclopedia.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Didn't you ever hear of writing a letter?
I mean, I was writing as well. I mean, it's that so many friends you can only write and so many friends you have to call. And I could write you a letter, but it's better for me to sit here and talk to you.
Not for me.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Severina Brito is suing her son, Colangelo Parker Jr., for running up a big phone bill while he was home from college.
Who do you know in Richmond, Virginia?
All my friends.
All your friends. And in Charleston, South Carolina?
Same friends from Virginia.
What about in Baltimore?
Same thing, friends I went to school with in Virginia.
Well, who do you expect to pay this phone bill?
I was going to pay her back, but
Yeah.
it just, in turn, I guess I just couldn't expedite the expenses to pay her back in time.
How much money have you given her?
None by now. I mean,
Well, that's a none. I mean, did you say to her, I started working, Mom, I can give you $50 a month?
yeah, as soon as I told her I started working,
So how much did you give her?
I haven't given her any yet. I just started about 2.5 weeks ago.
Well, what do you think she's supposed to do with all these bills?
I told her I would pay him, but she just, it's like, you know, I try, you know, I do stuff at home, you know, I watch my brother. She'll ask me to do errands. I try to help out as much as I can.
Just a second. Are you suggesting to me that because you did these certain chores at home, you were entitled to use the phone and abuse it to this extent?
Well, she knew I was using the phone, and I have many friends I can call, you know, and I would only call out seldomly. It wouldn't be, I mean, it may seem an over-excessive amount, but it was very seldom for the amount of times I was on the phone because I was at home all day doing chores around the home.
Let's see. You started at 8 o'clock in the morning calling Richmond, Virginia. You called them at 8:09 for 1 minute. Evidently, they weren't home. You got a busy signal. You said, I'll call you right back because at 8:10 you called again, and this time you stayed on the phone for 13 minutes. So you started at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And you finish up on the same date at 11:59. So you start at 8 o'clock in the morning, you finish up at 11:59 p.m. But you're still not finished because at 12:35 a.m. the next day, 35 minutes later, you got on the phone, you talked to somebody for a half hour in Hampton, Virginia. When you got finished talking to them in Hampton, Virginia, you called somebody else in Richmond, Virginia.
It's all schoolmates in the same state.
Didn't you ever hear of writing a letter?
I mean, I was writing as well. I mean, it's so many friends you can only write and so many friends you have to call. I mean, direct conversation it's a communication thing. Like,
Please,
you know, I could write you a letter, but it's better for me to sit here and talk to you.
Not for me.
You know, it's just, you know, I miss my mom and I miss my friends. I called my mom when I was out in Virginia, so I called my friends.
Are you serious with me, Mr. Parker?
Yes, I'm very serious.
Are you serious with me?
Definitely.
I mean, I read your answer. Even in your answer, you say that when your mother found you on the phone, sitting there being on the phone instead of out there looking for a job all day long, she would say to you, who are you talking to? You're talking long distance? And according to you, you only lied a little.
Definitely.
You would say you only lied a little.
I mean, you have to know my mother. I mean, this is a woman who you can mop the floor and she'll find a strand of mop hair and ask you why you didn't mop the floor. I mean,
Mr. Parker.
She's obsessive like that.
Mr. Parker.
I have to tell her what she has to hear.
Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anybody sentence you to go home from a jail? Did a judge sentence you to go home?
No, but my mother was my judge and she sentenced me, yes.
No, just a second, Mr.
Because she was mad when I was away. She flies me out here, I'll be with my friends, and she said, you don't spend time with me, make them pay for your ticket the next time. I say, wow, Mom, I'm sorry, you can't hang with my friends out here either.
Yeah. I want you to be quiet now.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Your mother let you stay in the house. You didn't pay rent.
Correct.
Your mother fed you 2 or 3 or how many meals a day she fed you?
Maybe
When
one.
you walked into the bedroom, you turned on the light where you were sleeping. She paid for the electricity.
No, I slept on the sofa.
When you walked into the living room and turned on the light, she paid for the electricity, right?
Exactly.
She paid for the air conditioning when it was hot, and she paid for the heat when it was cold. In effect, really, Mr. Parker, Jr., she paid for the air you breathed when you were living with her. So if you watched your little brother occasionally, mopped up the floor, did a few dishes, or did a few little chores around the house, you were working for your basic keep. Your basic keep doesn't involve sitting like a 15-year-old on the phone from 8 o'clock in the morning until well after midnight, talking to your nearest and dearest friends and lying to your mother about being on the phone long distance. You owe her $488.95. Grow up and pay her.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Amen.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Ever since he pledged with this fraternity and going away to college, he come back barking and stomping. I think that paddling on the behind must have clogged up his brains.
He has so many skills and talents that he depends on them instead of just being straight. I want him to be straight, be honest, and be responsible.
I'm just not understanding. I mean, the $488, I have no idea where it came from. I guess she went back through my childhood when I was 1 to phone calls. I just really am not aware of it.
Be good.
All right, thank you.
Did you go to her house with a gun?
No, I did.
She says he took back the gifts at gunpoint.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm not working right now, but I've been cutting meat off and on the last 15 years.
He may be the biggest loser in the world. I have a feeling that that's probably true because he certainly has a lot of money for somebody that occasionally...
Ex-boyfriend, 45-year-old meat cutter Larry Parker, threatened her with a gun to get back money, furniture, and jewelry he gave her before they split.
Order, all rise. Yeah, this is case number 613 on the calendar in the matter of Smith versus Parker. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
According to your complaint, Ms. Smith, you and the defendant were in a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
You claim that the relationship went south, that you got a series of restraining orders against the defendant, and that he stole certain property from you.
Right.
That property was property that he, according to you, had given you as gifts.
Correct.
Is the property you're talking about furniture?
Yes.
What kind of furniture?
I had carpet, a television, a range, 2 living room suites, and jewelry, and also money, $1,000.
And you say he stole that from you?
He took it back from me.
Just a minute. Well, you used the word stole. But what I gather in these papers is that he came to your house and you gave him all these items.
Yes, ma'am.
He says that he just reclaimed his property. So, tell me how this happened.
He came to my door 2 or 3 times with a gun, threatening me, threatening my life.
So you gave him the property?
Yes, I did.
When did he give you the $1,000 in cash?
Like December.
What did he give it to you for?
I guess it was a gift.
Did he just hand you the $1,000 and say, this is a present?
Right. He said, this is for you.
Tell me about the $1,000, sir.
No, I didn't give it to her for her gift. She was holding it for me to keep.
Tell me what you said to her.
Would you hold this for me?
Why did you put it in the bank?
I'd rather for her to hold it because she was struggling and she can use it if she wanted to. That's what I told her.
So you
some
said,
of it.
So she could use some of it?
Yes.
Or she could use all of it? Or she could use it if she needed it?
Yes.
That, Mr. Parker, is a gift.
Yes.
Now, you took this back from her, this $1,000.
$740. She was $260 short. I asked for the $1,000 back.
But you had said to her, here, and you can use this if you need it.
Yes.
Well, she needed it.
But she was willing to give it back.
Did you go to her house with a gun?
No, I didn't.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a meat cutter.
How long have you been working?
I'm not working right now, but I've been cutting meat off and on the last 15 years.
Where'd you get $1,000 from in cash?
I gamble, and I was lucky.
You also bought her a carpet, a TV, a range, 2 living room sets, and some jewelry.
Yes, I did. Not buy it for her. We was to move together. But
Where'd you get all the money from for this stuff?
I worked, and like I say, I gamble. I work and gamble.
What kind
Work
of
and
gambling?
gamble.
What kind of gambling?
I play cards.
Ever been arrested?
Yes.
For what?
She had me arrested 3 times.
Not her. She had you arrested for domestic violence and stalking. I'm not talking about that, Mr. Parker. I'm talking about, other than the arrests, her arrests. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, I have.
For what?
Forgery in '86.
Did you ever go to her house with a gun?
No, I didn't.
Well, tell me what happened when you went to the house and told her you wanted the carpet back.
I didn't ask her for the carpet back. She asked me to come and get the carpet.
How did that happen?
Well, because she couldn't move it. She voluntarily give the jewelry and stuff back. I could stay out all night gambling. When I come home 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, she would have that stuff sitting outside. Give that to the bee you was with all night.
Tell me about the jewelry, madam. What jewelry did he take back?
I had some rings, a watch, and a necklace.
You must be a good gambler, Mr. Parker.
Yes, I am.
And tell me how it came about that you gave him the jewelry back.
Well, he stayed in apartment 2 above me, and I stayed in apartment 3. And he would always come down, beating on the door. You know, I want this back, I want that back, what I bought you. And I thought I should give it back to him because he intimidated me so, and because my kids, it would upset them so, you know what I'm
So
saying?
you gave them back to him?
Yeah, I gave them back to him.
So what are you bothering me for? What are you bothering the courts for?
Because I was intimidated to give them back to him.
Go to the police.
I did.
And what'd they tell you?
I did call the police.
Yeah, and what'd
and
they
they
tell
told
you?
me to go down and take a warrant out on him.
So you did?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
So you did. So why are you in court? You were intimidated by him. So you gave him back this stuff, which sounds to me, Miss Smith, like a very, very good idea. If what you tell me was true, and as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't have a ring of truth to it. I'm going to tell you why. It doesn't have a ring of truth to it that he came to you, waved a gun in your face, took the property 1, 2, or 3 times, you know, making 3 trips. And you telling me you're scared to death of him. Isn't that what you're telling me?
Yes, I am.
Scared to death of him, want no part of him, right?
Right.
Then why in the world would you file a claim against him in small claims court, which you knew was going to further exacerbate the situation, which you knew would make him even angrier, which you knew would result in the 2 of you being together, when you could have severed all ties with him by just giving him back the stuff that you say he gave you. Well, certainly I believe that he gave you the jewelry as a gift. But as far as carpet, TV, range, living room furniture, you know, that sort of stuff, he says you were supposed to move in together. But what I doubt, Miss Smith, is your statement that he came to you with a gun, threatening you with a gun, making you so fearful. I doubt that because of your actions in filing a claim, which you knew was going to make him even angrier. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Very good. Now, the wisdom of what you're saying initially to me is, he came to the door, I didn't want him banging at the door, I didn't want my kids involved, so I just gave him back the stuff he gave me because I wanted him out of my life.
That's
That
right.
would make sense.
You're right.
So what are you doing here?
I want what's rightfully mine.
Well,
He took it back under intimidation.
Well, you were intimidated because he came knocking at your door. I don't believe that he waved a gun in your face. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Ma'am.
You just a second. Because if anybody waved a gun in my face and you don't look like a dumb woman, I certainly wouldn't sue them over a range.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He may be the biggest loser in the world. I have a feeling that that's probably true because he certainly has a lot of money for somebody that occasionally cuts meat.
And later today,
What were you in jail for?
Cruelty to a child, I guess you would say.
And then you were paroled? What was the nature of your violation?
Charges were filed, a spousal battery.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jacqueline Smith is suing her former boyfriend, Larry Parker, for stalking her and forcing her to return gifts.
When did he come and get the stuff from you?
In December.
Of what year?
Of 97.
So a year and a half ago?
Yes.
Well, what are you doing here now?
Because I want what's rightfully mine.
Ms. Smith, you both still live in the same city?
No, in the same city. She made me move from next door. But I'm born and raised in the same neighborhood. My father took sick, and I was visiting my father, and then she had me arrested again for visiting my father.
Did you have him arrested again?
I didn't have him arrested for visiting his father.
Did he
I
come
didn't
to
say
bother
hello
you?
to you.
Yes.
He came to your door?
Yes, he did.
What did he do when he came to your door?
He left a note at my door that he wanted his leather coat back that he had bought me. And he wanted the living room suit that he had bought for me because he didn't want anyone else in the neighborhood to be sitting on it, anything that he bought. Mm-hmm. He would always intimidate me. He would come to my job, always.
So you're scared of him?
Yes, I am.
Well, Miss Smith, that's
I'm
what I
afraid
don't
of him.
understand, madam. I don't understand. He's out of your life. He hasn't come to your door in a long time.
No.
Everything that he gave you, he no longer has. He has no reason to come back to your house. Right? Why do you want to put yourself in a position of having this stuff back in the house, which is going to cause him to be angrier? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why you're not smarter. Why are you being so foolish? Why would you want to stir it up now over a couch if you're afraid of him?
Because I want what's mine.
Why did you take all this property from him? What'd you give him? What'd you give him?
Nothing. I was just with him.
Were you planning on living together?
No. He always asked me to go out and find us a house, an apartment to stay together. But some always in the back of my mind said no because of the way he treated me. The first year.
Okay, let's discuss this. So he wanted to move in with you.
Yes, ma'am.
And asked you to go look for an apartment.
Right.
But you didn't like the way he treated you.
Right.
But you took all this property from him anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever say to him, I don't plan on living with you? I'm not moving in with you?
No.
Well, then what'd you take all this property for if you didn't like the way he was treating you?
He gave it to me as a gift.
I mean, some days... I'm going to tell you something. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. He's giving you stuff in anticipation that you are going to have a relationship. He's telling you he wants to move into a house together. He may be the biggest loser in the world. I have a feeling that that's probably true because he certainly has a lot of money for somebody that occasionally cuts meat. All right? However, and it's probably very good judgment on your part, very good judgment on your part to say, I don't want to be involved with this man. I don't want my kids to be involved with this man. But as long as he's giving out presents, I'm going to take them. Then you had enough of him, right? You don't want any part of him anymore. And he's really annoyed because now doesn't have his money. Well, he got some of his money back, $740, right?
Right.
And you got carpet, TV, range, living room.
What? I was promised the 260.
You're not going to get it.
I know.
Good.
Don't want it.
Right? So then he wants his stuff back because he feels like he's been treated as a fool. Because you took, what are you looking at me like that for? What word didn't you understand? He felt as if you were treating him like a fool. He was giving you all this stuff, very expensive stuff, and you were playing along with him. Then you got a restraining order for him to stay far away from you, far away, and he comes to your house without a gun. You know, that's a lot of baloney. And says, give me my stuff back. You say, I'm intimidated. I gave him my stuff back. He should have. Case dismissed.
Why is that excuse?
Thank you. Let's go, man.
He did threaten to kill me. He said he had enough money to kill me. And I believe it.
Stop being a sugar daddy.
And now the next case.
All parties on Milligan versus Milligan. Step forward, please.
36-year-old salesman Robert Milligan is suing his estranged wife, 31-year-old medical assistant Carrie Milligan, for his late brother's personal belongings. Carrie says she left the possessions with the landlord while Robert was in jail.
Two of you are in the process of divorcing, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The divorce is not yet final?
No, it's not.
Your claim, Mr. Milligan, is that your wife has certain property of yours and refuses to return it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what kind of property is it that you want, sir? Because most property is usually divided, or the title of property is usually determined pursuant to the judgment of divorce.
Well, when my brother passed away, there was several items that were given to me from after he had died from my mom when she cleaned out his apartment. I have a list, but it's really long.
I'm not
and some of that has a lot of sentimental value. There's no dollar value that you could put on the property, and I believe that Carrie is she still has possession of that property, and I'd like it back.
What are you doing in small claims court?
Because the divorce is sitting in limbo.
Well, it's in limbo because you filed for divorce?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
When did you file for divorce?
In November 13th.
Okay. And when were you served, sir?
Approximately November 13th or the 14th. I was incarcerated at the time that I was served.
Mm-hmm. When were you released from jail?
January 18th.
What were you in jail for?
For a parole violation.
What was your original sentence for?
It was cruelty to a child, I guess you would say.
And how long was your sentence?
I was sentenced to 2 years in state prison.
How long did you serve?
13 months and 10 days to be exact.
And then you were paroled? What was the nature of your violation?
The nature of the violation was charges were filed, a spousal battery.
So then you went back and did the remainder of your 2 years?
No, I went back and did a year parole violation.
Was this the first time that you were in jail, this 2-year term for cruelty to a child?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have known Robert since 1995 for a total of 4 years. He served 23 months out of that 4 years in prison.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Robert Milligan is suing his estranged wife, Carrie Milligan, for his late brother's things.
Now, so you were served while you were in prison. You got out of prison in January.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you hire a lawyer?
I haven't hired an attorney because attorneys are expensive, ma'am.
Well, when you hire an attorney, sir, or if you appear in this action pro se, that's where the court is going to resolve all issues of property.
Mm-hmm.
If I resolve all the issues of the property that you have, you're not going to be in any big rush to get yourself a lawyer and respond, which means she's going to stay in a state of limbo for a very long time. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just take a look at the list anyway before I dismiss your case and tell you to go and get a lawyer, answer her request. She doesn't want to be married to you anymore. How long were you married?
Less than a year.
And how
He
long
went
was...
to prison 6 months after we were married. I have known Robert since 1995 for a total of 4 years. He served 23 months out of that 4 years in prison. I left all his belongings when I moved out of the apartment on November 21st before he was released from prison. I brought a witness with me, my father, who knows that I left this property in the apartment. I gave the owner back the keys. I left word with his probation officer that he could pick up his personal property at the apartment. He already picked up his personal property in February from the apartment owner.
Did you go back to the apartment?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you pick up any property there when you went back there?
Yeah, an empty suitcase.
One empty suitcase?
One empty suitcase.
Did you leave more than
I
one
left
empty...
several packed boxes of miscellaneous items. I left a suitcase that I could not even lift full of clothing.
I'm just going to go through a couple of other things. A pair of black riding boots. Do you remember
I left
any
3
of that?
pairs of shoes. One of those were those boots.
What's a collection of pogs? What's a pog?
You tell me, I don't know what
What's
a
a
pog
pog?
is.
Well, you remember there was a trend. They're like kids slam them. My son collected them, so I started collecting them along with him.
Everything to Robert is a collectible. It's an antique.
Okay. A tent for camping?
My tent, Your Honor, that was given and for loan by my father.
So some of these things you may have in your possession that he has on his list.
That do not belong to him. That belong to my father.
That's up to the divorce court to figure out whose property is personal property, what property is marital
away with
property.
all his clothing.
Just a minute, what property is marital property? I'm not going to bifurcate these proceedings, and I will suggest this to you, Mr. Milligan, that the defendant says she does not have any of your personal property, that she packed several boxes of property, she left it with your landlord. Did your parole officer tell you to go to the landlord?
No, he did not. What he did, he called Carrie several times where she was living. He left several messages with her. Carrie failed to respond to those the messages that he left.
That's hearsay.
Right.
In any event, somehow or another, you went to the landlord where you used to live, and you say you got an empty suitcase.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, maybe you better sue the landlord. She says she left several packed boxes of your stuff along with a suitcase that she couldn't even lift. Not responsible for safeguarding your property.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
2 things, Mr. Milligan. What is and what is not community property is determined in a judgment of divorce by a single judge. That's what happens. The judge at that time will look at your list and ask her each item whether she has it or not, and make a judgment as to whether it is joint property, whether it is community property, or whether it belongs to you or to her. As far as the other items that you say she did in fact pack, maybe she will be a witness for you if you in fact sue the landlord and say she says she gave you at least 2 or 3 boxes of property in a suitcase. Where is it? All I got was an empty suitcase. That is what you're testifying to here today.
Yes, ma'am.
All you got was an empty suitcase.
That's all I got was an empty suitcase.
Okay, and you packed up his clothing?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, fine. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I really don't know. I really don't know what made her turn a U-turn and act this way towards me. You know, I'm just here trying to retrieve property that belongs to me.
I think that women should stand up for their rights, regardless of how severe the circumstances are.
Show me.
I don't have any proof on that. I didn't bring all the paperwork that I needed.
Well, what did you think you were coming here for? For ballet lessons?
Nobody's perfect.
So she didn't make the insurance payment, you came and took the car?
Yes, after she threatened that she'd run it into a block wall and key it up.
On your best day, you're not as smart as I am.
Dental assistant Tammy Flammer is suing former boyfriend, 31-year-old telephone lineman Troy Wheeler, for repossessing her car. Troy says he only loaned the car to her.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 660 on the calendar in the matter of Flam.
You and the defendant were involved in a brief relationship when you needed a car. And you didn't have enough money or credit to get the car.
No, I had the money, ma'am. I didn't have the credit.
So you had the money, he had the credit. He agreed to co-sign for the car for you. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right so far?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay.
It was basically for her to use the car.
No, it wasn't for me to use the car.
Just a second. Well, that's your defense, sir. That sounds kind of wishy-washy to me. But I'll let you tell me the story anyway if you really want to. So you got the car. And who put the down payment on the car?
Myself.
You have proof of that?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it.
I have all the proof right here of all the payments I made. Do you want it all right now?
Let's do just the down payment first.
That's bank statements that I withdrew.
$2,040.
Right. I put $1,900 down, though.
You have proof that you put down the down payment, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see it.
Receipt from Rock Honda? The receipt from Rock Honda for the receipt for the down payment?
You can't even say that to me with a straight face. Let me explain something to you. Mr. Wheeler, let me explain something to you, sir. On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day. Do you understand? So this receipt says that somebody put down $1,900. Show me from your bank a withdrawal for $1,900.
I don't have receipt.
No, sure you don't. You know why you don't have the receipt for $1,900 that you took the money out of your bank, Mr. Wheeler?
Well, I put it down. I took it out of my bank account and put
Show
that
me.
down.
Just a second. Show me.
I don't have any proof on that. I didn't bring all the paperwork that I needed.
Well, what did you think you were coming here for? For ballet lessons? You were coming here for a court case today. You said, I have all the proof. That's what you say in your answer. I have all the proof that I put down the down payment and that I made all the payments. That's what you said.
No, not that I didn't make all the payments. No.
Oh, what you say here, Mr. Wheeler, is that I have all the receipts for the down payment and the monthly payments. She has receipts for making them too.
Right.
Now, let me see, please, your receipts now for your payments. How much was the car payment?
$297.10 a month. On some of them, it was $1 off. I didn't realize it was $297. It was I put $296 for 3 of them, I think.
What's this made out to him for $400?
That was for the car payment plus insurance that he said he had on the car, which I never had any proof of.
I got proof of the insurance that I had to pay.
What did she make all these payments to you, sir?
It's for car payments.
Shh. She's speaking to you.
The verbal agreement that we had, that she, as long as she has possession of the car, she's to make car payments and insurance payments. And any usage, something breaks, she's to pay for it all. And she didn't want to pay any insurance, which I had paid. I got the paperwork on that.
Let me see. Now, this doesn't show me that you paid it.
That was the paperwork from the insurance.
This doesn't show me that you paid it. This just says it was paid. I want you to show... Put your hand down. I want you to show me that you paid it.
Okay, that's the only thing I have right there, because when I went down there, I paid him cash for the insurance. And Tammy was known that I was going down to do that. She was supposed to pay me. I also have a letter here that she wrote me saying that she did owe me for the money for the insurance and the car payment. And also, I had a...
Well, this is a very interesting letter because it says, I'm sorry, I'm just sending you the monthly car payment. As you can see by the check, my dad made the payment this month. Okay. I'm very sorry, but I don't have the insurance money. This is in September of '98. We're having trouble finding a job, but I know that that's not your problem. Also, I need some written agreement on this car to make things legal. I need to have it in my name.
For all the paperwork.
I need to have it in my name. If not, then there's no point in my driving it. I love it and take good care of it. But for sure, I need the papers on it. She says, by the way, I haven't forgot I owe you money. You're first on my list as soon as I get a job. I promise. I need to also find a way to get my stuff up there. And then there's some expletive.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So she didn't make the insurance payment, you came and took the car?
Yes, after she threatened that she'd run it into a block wall and key it up.
I believe she did that. That's the kind of personality that I could see she's got.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy Flammer claims ex-boyfriend Troy Wheeler took back his car even after she made payments, and he did not return her belongings she left at his house.
All right. Now, how many months? Clearly, she says she owed some money on the car. She owed some insurance payments on the car. How much insurance did she owe on the car?
It was about $800 to $1,000 for the months that she had owed me, because she hadn't paid me a dime for the insurance.
Well, if she didn't pay a dime for the insurance, sir, then she made some payments to you that
Car
were like
payments, yes.
$400. And you
The
say that those...
the $200 that was on there was for the money that she owed me.
No, ma'am, that was part of the car payment. No, that was the car payment and then the insurance. I had no proof of ever him having insurance. And he even told me he had no insurance on that car for a while.
When did you get the car? When did you buy the car?
July 14th?
Of '98?
Yes, at that time.
Okay, and she made, according to these papers, she made most of these car payments.
I made every one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, she sure did.
And the down.
She was to make all the payments.
She did make all the payments.
Correct, on the verbal agreement.
She did make all the payments, and she did put down the down payment. So why did you repossess the car?
I had to repossess the car. I have my witness here.
No, you tell me.
Because I asked her to make the payments on the insurance. She told me she would not.
If you talk again, I'm going to dismiss your case, which would not be a good idea for you.
Okay.
Understand?
She said that she didn't have the money, and I told her I'm canceling the insurance on the car, and I canceled it, and I called her up and told her, if you can't make the payments on time every month and pay me the insurance, I'm going to have to come and get the car.
Okay, so she didn't make the insurance payment, you came and took the car.
Yes, after she threatened that she'd run it into a block wall and key it up.
So I believe she did that. That's the kind of personality that I could see she's got. However, how many months did she have the car, sir?
For about 6 months.
Judge Judy?
She's my witness, Judge.
To what?
To the
To
hearing.
what she said that.
The hearing Tammy saying that she'd run the car into a brick wall.
Okay, well, she said that it's not particularly relevant.
Okay.
She had the car for 6 months. She made the car payments. She put down the $1,900 down payment. Now, where's the car?
I have possession of the car.
So you're driving it?
Yes, ma'am. I also have.
You're driving it?
Yes.
You're driving it. You took the car back. She had made all of her car payments. So you have the car. That's fine. You're going to give her the money that she spent on the car. She made all of her payments to the bank. Bank's not going to come and repossess the car.
They told me the payments would go up if the insurance wasn't paid on
Listen
it.
to me. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. She paid. She made all the payments on this car, and you came and
Correct.
you
That
repossessed
was the
it.
verbal agreement to it.
Fine.
And I've also got to where it would have cost to rent a car
Yeah.
from 2 different places.
I'm not interested in renting a car. She didn't rent a car. She bought a car.
No, she didn't buy a car. She was borrowing the car.
Oh, that's what you say.
No.
That's
her-
an
she had an
interesting
Oldsmobile
story. Now I'm going to
Forenza.
just a second. Now we're going to get, sir. Now we're going to get to your story. This interesting story that it was your car that you bought.
Correct.
And that you were merely loaning it to her.
Yes.
To drive.
Yes. She had a little boy, JD, which is a year old. Her other car broke down. She was telling me that she had no way of getting back and forth to work. I told her I could let you use this car if you make all the payments, the insurance, and keep up the maintenance on it. That was the verbal agreement. And Heather here is a witness to that.
I'd like to hear that. Step up. Who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
You're his girlfriend?
Yes.
Were you there when they made this arrangement about the car?
I was there the night that they got the car, yes.
What do you mean the night that they got the car?
When they came home from getting the car.
You weren't there when they got the car?
No, I wasn't there.
So you were there when they both came home?
Yes, they came
to my house.
To his house.
Okay. And I'll hear you, what you heard between the two of them.
I wasn't there when they were talking, but I had spoken to both of them separately, and the agreement was that she was to take care of the car fully.
Just a second. Don't tell me what the agreement was. That's for me to determine. You tell me what she said to you about the car.
What she said to me?
Yeah.
She didn't say anything to me.
So the only one who said something to you was him?
Right.
Sit down.
Both Tammy and I both told Heather that she was to use the vehicle as long as she made all the payments and insurance on it.
Right.
Because her other car was broke down, she had a little baby. That's why I let her borrow it. And so she lived in Fullerton, I lived in Wrightwood. She was to drive back and forth on the weekends. She couldn't do it in her car, so I was having to go down there and pick her up every weekend. So to make things easier, she would borrow the car so she can come back and forth on the weekends. I mean, and also, Your Honor.
Just a second. Just a second. I just want to check one more thing, just so that I'm 100% sure of...
If I could say something, Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to show, you know, that I was doing things for her to help her out, she was arrested for spousal abuse, beating her boyfriend up, to where
That's not irrelevant to the
I
case,
had
though.
to bail her out. She didn't have the money. Nobody would bail her out. I had the money, and I was nice enough to even bail her out on this, just like I was nice enough to let her use the car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know of any other normal person who would say, put all my valuables out on the front porch.
They were in the bags that she brought. I put
Now, I
them
don't
on
care
the
whether
porch.
they were in bags, suitcases,
That
or whatever.
night-
It doesn't make sense for somebody to tell you to put their stuff on the front porch.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Tammy Flammer says Troy Wheeler took his car back and kept her things after they broke up.
Sir, I don't believe that you let her use the car. And I tell you why I don't believe that you let her use the car. She withdrew money immediately from her bank immediately prior to when this car was purchased. A substantial amount of money, over $2,000. You have absolutely no proof.
But is the-
I'm speaking. Don't speak when I'm speaking. You have absolutely no proof to show me that you withdrew that money from your account in order to make a payment that, which would have been very important to bring.
Not everybody
But
has
you-
money in account, though.
You mean you kept your money under a
I
mattress?
keep money at home, and I keep
Good.
money in my
Well,
checking
then you're a
account.
very, very rich man. Furthermore, in September of 1998, she acknowledges that she owes you money, but goes on to say in this letter that you presented to me that she really has to have the car in her name. She wants the car in her name, that otherwise there's no point in her
And I
continuing
also
to...
told her-
Shut, I'm speaking. Which is further proof that there was no agreement on your part because you didn't respond to this letter and say,
I did.
Just a second. Show me a copy of the letter that you sent to her as a result of this letter, where you say, it was our agreement when this car was purchased that this was not your car, it was a loaner. Therefore, this car will never be in your name.
Yes, I
Show
told
me
her
the
that.
letter.
There was
Show
no
me-
letter.
show me the letter.
I called Tammy on the phone specifically and told her that this car will never be in your name. You will never have any paperwork for
Listen
it.
to me, sir. Smart people, when they get a letter like this, if they're so outraged at this change of the agreement, respond in writing, send it by certified mail. You did not. As a matter of fact, after you received this letter, she continued to use the car.
Correct.
She continued to drive the car, and at that point, you made took no affirmative step to say, listen, this was not our agreement. You've had the car now 2 months. If you think that this car is going to be in your name, that this is your car, I'm coming to pick it up right now.
Oh, I've told her that several times.
Just a second. You let her make 6 car payments. I don't need your help. And you're not helping yourself. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let's go further. You say that he destroyed some of your property. There was a time when you moved into his house. You thought you would have a relationship going. You moved in there with your son. Didn't work out. According to your papers, he destroyed some of your property.
Right.
He says he didn't destroy it. He tells the following story. You want to tell it to me, sir?
It was a Monday. She come up Sunday night. Monday morning, I went to work. Monday afternoon, I came home from work. Tammy was gone. She called me up, told me that she wanted her stuff to leave it on the porch. I put her stuff on the porch like she asked me. When I came home, some of the stuff had been gone through. When she called up and said, "Where's my stuff?" I said, "You told me to put it on the porch." A few days later, her friend Susie and her come up wanting her stuff, and I told her, "You told me to put it on the porch, and that's what I did. You were to come up here."
Do you live in the city or in the country? Where do you live?
It's in the mountains, in Wrightwood.
I mean, are there other people who live around there?
Yeah, neighbors.
You have a lot of neighbors.
Yes.
Let me hear.
I did not tell him to put it on the front porch. Matter of fact, when my girlfriend and I went up there, I waited at the park. She went in, looked through everything, and he kept telling her it's payment. He wouldn't even give my baby's diapers back that I bought. He gave away my uniforms, my Christmas gifts, my baby's Christmas gifts.
No, I did not.
Yes, I don't believe, Judge Judy, that people would go and take my stuff off his front porch. I don't believe that.
Did you tell him to put all your stuff
No,
on
I
the
did
front
not.
porch?
No, I did not. I said that I'd be up there to get my stuff. That's what I said.
She said put it beside on the porch, that she'd be up to get it, and that's what I did.
No, I did not.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Let me tell you what doesn't make sense, sir. It doesn't make sense that in a populated community, in the latter part of the 20th century, where unfortunately all kinds of thievery and chicanery go on, that a normal person would say to you, "Put my stuff out on the porch, and I'll be over to pick it up in a couple of days."
No, she told me she'd be there that day to pick it up.
No, I did not. I didn't
She
have a
did.
car.
Shh. But according to you, she didn't come for a couple of days.
Right, she came.
So it doesn't make sense to me, sir. I don't know of any other normal person who would say, "Put all my valuables out on the front porch."
There was, what, clothes? And
Whatever it is, put my stuff out on the front porch in boxes. You ever do that?
They were in the bags that
Would
she
you ever
brought.
What?
They were in the bags that she brought. I put
Oh, I
them
don't
on
care
the
whether
porch.
they were in bags, suitcases,
That
or whatever.
night that I noticed that they had been gone through, I brought them back in the house.
Yeah.
And then that's when her friend Susie and her come up to get the stuff.
It does what I'm saying to you, sir. It doesn't make sense for somebody to tell you to put their stuff on the front porch.
Well, that's
and
what she
then
told me,
not
'cause
show
I
up.
work.
And then not show up for 2 days, according to you.
She told me she'd be up that day and didn't show up for a few days.
Let
and
me
that's the way it
explain
happened.
to you, sir. I don't believe that a normal person.
She did, though, Your Honor.
Well, she did. Just like you made the down payment on the car.
Yes, I did.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I think it was wrong. You know, the agreement that we had for her to use the car is what the agreement was. As for the clothes, she did tell me to leave them on the porch. And that's what happened. And I feel that Judge Judy's answer is wrong to the case.
He didn't get what he wanted out of the relationship, so he took the car.
Don't trust her, you know. Be careful what you do. You know, make sure you get it in writing because you can't trust people, especially Tammy Flammer.
First of all, I think he's a real big liar, okay? Everything he was saying was a lie, basically.
I witnessed a lot of it. I'm very sad the way it's turning out, but you know what? You don't get money handed out to people, you know, for a rental car. You have to take it as it is, you know?
I thank him for you know, trying to help me out, but sorry I didn't get what he wanted, and I won. Thank you.
The
dog bit me on the hand, bit me in the side of the waist.
The War of Dogs.
Your dog bit the plaintiff.
I found myself sitting in the dirt with Rottweiler raging right in front of my face, with foam in the mouth. And no, it is not, unfortunately.
Matthew Roth claims Vladimir and Galina Tuchinski's dogs attacked him and his Rottweiler. The Tuchinskis are countersuing Matthew for abuse and threatening bodily harm.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 606 on the calendar in the matter of Roth versus Tuchinski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Roth, it is your complaint that the defendant's dogs, which were unleashed, attacked you and the dog that you were walking, injuring your dog, more importantly, injuring you,
Right.
because your injuries were such that you had to be treated for them. You had a bite to your hand.
We both were treated.
There is a counterclaim by the defendants, which indicates that your actions somehow against them were threatening. They're going to tell me about that. All right, so where did this happen, Mr. Roth?
This happened at Runyon Park. I have a map for you, too, which is...
Don't tell me. Show me maps. I'm not
well,
good at
it
maps.
tells you where the leash is in effect and where the leash isn't in effect. There's a sign that says dogs must be on a leash, and the area that we were in is required to have a leash, and I can show that to you. It was Runyon Canyon Park.
This happened in a park.
Runyon Canyon.
Your dog, what kind of a dog was it?
It's a Rottweiler.
Was on a leash.
And a harness, correct.
Okay. Start at the beginning.
So I've run into Mr. Tuchinski 2 times before. He lets his dogs, 2 Australian Shepherds, run free all the time. They have tried to attack my dog before, and I just try to get him away. And I never have any problems with any other dogs that have. I mean, they always bark back and forth, but my dog is always controlled on a leash because I respect other people in that park. And I go there because it is mandatory to keep your dog on a leash. So I was walking down the hill. We were right at the entrance. There's about 6 dogs running around free. I said, "Can you please control your dogs? I'm coming through." As I was walking through, Mr. Tuchinski's dogs ran up and rushed. The bigger dog bit my dog on the head, started pulling at the skin. I walked in and started hitting the dog and kicking the dog to try to release it. I hear a voice that says, "Don't hit my dogs." I continued to hit the dog. The dog bit me on the hand, bit me in the side of the waist. I fell on the ground. They got back and bit my dog in the neck, started pulling the skin back. And I jumped in again and started hitting him. At that point, Mr. Tuchinski grabbed his dog and was sitting on the ground holding his dog. I said, "Whose dog is this?" I asked. Everybody was like big scene. I said, "Whose dog is this?" I said, "Is this your dog?" to him. He goes, "No. No." I said, "Is this your dog, sir?" And then the friend says, "That is his dog," somebody that he knew. And I said, "Sir, what is your name and your number? You need to take responsibility for this. There's blood coming down my hand. My dog was like bleeding." He didn't even say apologize, didn't say sorry. He goes, "No, go away, go away." Repeatedly 3 times I asked him for his information. At that point, then I started yelling some obscene names at him because I was mad. I wanted to be.
So he refused to give you his
So he refused
name.
to give me the name. I walked back. I said, "Stay right here. I'm calling the police, and I'm going to go put my dog in the car so he's, not in any trouble. I'm going to come back." At that point, I ran into my witness, who I've never even seen before in my life, Steve Nigg, who walked up to me and said, "I saw everything, and I will be your witness." And another person came up to me with a camera, which I have photographs right here of the actual injuries right after the attack. Took a photograph.
Okay, well, let's start with your witness first. Sir?
Okay, sir.
Would you step up?
I was hiking.
Stand over there, sir.
And walked down to the entrance of the park and ran into him with his dog on a leash and 1 dog barking at his dog. He was trying to drag his dog away from it, and the shepherd kept lunging at it and barking at it, and then finally just attacked it. And they were on the ground rolling around, and the shepherd was biting the Rottweiler. And so they had their words, and he took off, and I kind of sat there and I watched what was going on, and this man took off running back up the hill. And
with his dog?
I don't know if he was with his. I think he ran alone. He ran back into the park, and said he was going to get the cops. And so I walked.
What did the dog look like that was attacking the plaintiff and the Rottweiler?
It's an Australian Shepherd, kind of long hair.
Were any of the other unleashed dogs there Australian Shepherds?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was kind of amazed because the words went back and forth, and the guy wouldn't step up and say, "I'm sorry, you know, I should have had my dog on a leash. I thought that was ridiculous, and so I found him on the phone at the apartment with his dog, asking someone to call the police, and that's when I approached him. His dog was very nice. He was actually having a sniff-a-thon with about 4 other dogs at that time, and I said, you know, here's my name and number, and should you have any problems, you know, call me.
That was very good of you.
Thank you.
More people should do that.
Yeah.
Now I'll see your photograph, sir. All right, Mr. Chichinsky, let's start with your, why were your dogs off the leash?
Well, first of all, my dogs were on a leash when they needed to be on a leash.
Why were they off the leash when they attacked the plaintiff?
They were on a leash. They took off at the point when,
What do you mean they took off? What does that mean? You mean they got away from you?
for a second.
They
Yeah.
got. So is what you're saying to me, sir, that they were running with their leashes on? Is that what you're saying?
You're right. Here is the situation, ma'am. Should I proceed or?
Well, Mr. Chichinsky, I want you to proceed, but I want you to make sure, sir, that what you tell me is the truth, because right now what I'm telling you is that I don't believe that both your dogs that you're holding on the leash happen to get away from you at the same time. I will tell you now because I'm giving you fair warning, Mr. Chichinsky.
Yes.
I don't believe that. I'm
Okay.
very smart. So you want to start again? Let's start again. Why were your dogs off the leash?
At that point, I was standing with my friend, talking, and the friend was giving treats to my dogs. That's why they were actually free to be around, that's all.
Okay, so your friend was giving the dog treats, and that's
Yes.
why they were off the leash. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Don't interrupt me. It's not a smart idea, especially when you appear to be winning. When you appear to be winning, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Matthew Roth says the Tuchinskys' 2 Australian shepherds attacked him and his Rottweiler. Vladimir and Galina Tuchinsky counterclaim Matthew abused them and threatened them with a stick.
All right. Your dogs were off the leash. I have 2 witnesses that say it was your dogs that attacked both the plaintiff and his dog. I have 2 witnesses. So you have to bear responsibility for his injuries.
The only point I'm trying to make, that yes, there were 2 Australian shepherds. They were mine. Aside from 2 Australian shepherds, there were another 10 dogs that began fight. So my question is, who will say that Australian shepherd did or did not bite Rottweiler? Or
These
maybe,
two. These 2
however,
people.
I have a witness that would say that they didn't.
Oh, you have a witness?
Yes, I do.
Who's the witness? Step up. Who are you?
Name?
Yes.
Gary Sitnitsky.
Are you a friend of his?
We live in the same building, yes.
You just happened to be in the park, or
Yes.
you were with him?
Yes, I was in the park.
You were in the park, but not together.
We were not together, no.
So tell me, sir, what did you see?
Well, I was
Look
playing,
at me.
I was playing with my dog, and I heard dog was fighting. It was a dog fight in the area, okay? And I saw 2 Australian shepherds going towards the fight, okay? The only thing I can say that I didn't see Australian shepherds biting any person.
Did you see anybody, any dog biting a person?
No.
So you didn't see what happened?
Well, I didn't see them. Those dogs.
No, no.
biting.
So what you're saying to me is, sir, you didn't see any dog biting the plaintiff.
That's true.
Well, a dog bit the plaintiff. Sit down. Sit down. Mr. Chichinsky, put your hand down. Mr. Chichinsky, your dog bit the plaintiff, both on the hand and on the side. Now, the next question is, he asked you for your number or your name. Why didn't you give it to him?
In the process of restraining my dogs, I fell. So I found myself sitting in the dirt with my dogs and with Rottweiler raging right in front of my face with foam in the mouth. And no, it is not, unfortunately, it is not laughing matter.
Just a second. It certainly isn't a laughing matter, sir.
I am
sir.
absolutely incapacitated. I have a big Rottweiler at my face. I'm restraining my 2 dogs. And I have a gentleman calling me all possible names.
All right, so now I got the picture. Now let me give you the picture. He took the Rottweiler so that the Rottweiler would be out of the situation, to put the Rottweiler in the car. And he said to you, don't leave, I'm calling the police.
Ma'am.
Shh. Yes.
I am sitting, I fell.
I don't care whether you fell or not, sir. Your
understand.
dogs are off the leash. Your dogs have just bitten the plaintiff and have just bitten the Rottweiler. This man says, I want your name, you have to take responsibility. You don't give him your name. He says, I'm going to call the police, and you leave. Give me the paper, please. Give me the papers, your bills, etc. You're responsible. Then we'll get to your counterclaim. So you refused to give him your name, you refused to give him a contact, and you left. Is that right?
Under the circumstances, I could not give him name.
Shoulda, woulda,
I was
coulda. You could have given him,
terrified.
of course you could have. Of course you could have. Giving him your name wasn't going to put you in any jeopardy with the Rottweiler by saying, this is my name, Vladimir Chichinsky. Sir, you're giving me a lot of papers here. Would you please tell me what your medical bills were?
My medical
to start?
bills were $141. The dog was $35.
Yeah.
And then I'm also asking for, I couldn't play my accordion for Ravi's studio work for 4 days, which the contract is up there, and then Lighter Fluid, which is a band I was supposed to do work on their single Bliss Freak. And there's letters in the contract, and here's their CDs, and here's
But don't listen.
picture of my
This is not an
accordion.
audition, sir.
I'm not auditioning. I'm telling
Good.
you what you're asking for.
Okay. I mean, I've seen your injuries.
And I want to say one more thing,
yeah,
please.
go ahead.
After they left, I went back to the park the next day because I didn't know if this dog had rabies or what, and I had to find these people. I waited in the park. I ran into Miss Tuchinski with this woman who's sitting right here. And I said, ma'am, very calm, I had a walking stick in my hand, the stick that she brought here. Because I was in pain. I was using it to walk, and I said,
Whether
ma'am.
you were in pain or not, Mr. Roth, if you were
let me
very...
just-
Shh. Listen to me, sir. I'm going to let them get to their counterclaim in a minute.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Don't interrupt me. It's not a smart idea. Especially when you appear to be winning. When you appear to be winning, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut.
I'm trying to tell you what's important with a stick. I tried to go after them.
Shh. Listen to me. I'm not concerned that you were walking with a stick. You were attacked by dogs. What I'm concerned about is that Mr. Chichinsky wasn't smart enough to figure out that you had a broken wound on your hand. And when you have a broken wound by a dog, the smartest thing to do is to find out who that dog is, to ensure that the dog has had a series of shots so that you don't have to get a series of shots, because that's both very painful or could be deadly. And he saw fit to withhold information from you, which would have enabled you not to be concerned that the dog that bit you could have been rabid or not vaccinated. Aren't you glad you kept your mouth shut?
Yeah.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He threatened us from the beginning. He was scary. I still don't go into park.
Well, he gets angry. And I don't blame him for getting angry. I would have gotten twice as angry. Bird here, he would have gotten 3 times as angry.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Matthew Roth claims the Tuchinskys' 2 Australian shepherds attacked him and his Rottweiler.
Now, you want to tell me about your counterclaim?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I went to park next day. I wasn't before. I don't know what happened. I'm standing with my friend Pamela talking. There's a guy with this stick, holding it in our faces, very aggressive. Are these your dogs? I said, yes. Well, give me your name, telephone. I said, excuse me, I don't even know you.
Did he tell you that your dogs had bitten him the day
Yes.
before?
Yes.
He did?
Yes. I said I wasn't there. I don't know. What do you want? I want your information. Believe me, his body language and his language
I don't blame him.
was very aggressive.
I don't blame him.
I don't
Not
know
for
that.
1 minute.
I don't know that. I was scared to
Well,
death.
I'm telling you, I don't blame him for 1 minute. Neither
He
you.
followed us home.
Yeah. He followed you
pushed
home
us in.
to find out where
Pamela
you live.
wouldn't let me to go to my apartment building. We went to her. He pushed us in. He scratched her with that shaking, and he called us names. We called the police, actually. I asked Pamela to call the police.
Shush, 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 shush. Shush, shush. You seem to be
He
you don't
insulted
understand.
us.
You're supposed to be quiet, right?
I just want to reiterate what she's saying.
Don't reiterate. I don't have to hear it twice.
It's not. It's the
Well,
truth.
reiterating is repeating.
Okay, I
Don't
wanna
repeat
tell
what she
the
says.
truth
You want to
then.
tell your side?
Yes.
Just a minute. Does it make any difference? Do I look as if I'm sympathetic with her?
No.
Perfect.
Well, maybe I shouldn't go on.
I'm not sympathetic with you, madam. You have grandchildren?
No.
You have children?
No.
All right. So let us say that you were walking in the park and you were bitten by a dog. Do you know what rabies is?
Yes, I do.
You know that if your dog is not properly vaccinated, if you go to a doctor, the doctor will tell you that you have to go through a series
know
of
all that,
shots.
but
You know
they
all
are
that?
vaccinated.
Do you know all that?
Yes.
All right. So you have somebody who your dog's bit who wants to know, for a variety of reasons, who you are, including finding out whether or not your dogs have been properly vaccinated. Neither you nor your husband would give them that information.
I didn't know that my dogs bit him. I didn't even know who he is.
I
He
told you.
attacked
Just
us.
No.
Anybody can come and attack me. You know what?
Mr.
There were two
Chichinski,
women.
if your husband didn't tell you about what happened in the park that day, that is your family's problem.
He told me what happened, but he didn't tell me that my dogs bit somebody.
Well,
there
then
is a
then
huge
he didn't tell you,
Rottweiler and two Australian
then he didn't tell you
Shepherds.
the truth. But let's figure out what you know now, according to what you just told me. You know that the day before, your husband came back from the park and told you that the dogs were involved in an altercation. Let us assume that I believe you, that your husband didn't tell you that your dogs had, in fact, bitten somebody. But here you have somebody who comes up to you and says, your dogs bit me. So you put two and two together because you look like an intelligent woman, and your response to him is, I don't know, I wasn't there. Well, he gets angry. And I don't blame him for getting angry. I would have gotten twice as angry. Bird here, he would have gotten 3 times as angry. He's got to know where you
If
live.
He would come to me and explain me. Maybe it would be a different case. He
please.
threatened us from the beginning. He
too-
was scary. I still don't go into park. I'm
That's
scared.
probably a good thing, so keep your dogs home.
My dogs are fine.
Keep your dogs home.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Responsibility. If your dogs are off the leash, that is your responsibility. If they attack somebody, that's your responsibility.
They're not attack dogs.
They attacked him and his dogs, and they bit him. Now, they may have bitten him because he was hitting them to get him off his dog.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do?
Have you
Give him
ever
a
seen
timeout?
120 pounds
Just a second.
Rottweiler?
What is he supposed to do? Give him a timeout?
Yeah.
Madam, you're being foolish.
Maybe.
You're being absolutely ludicrous. And if you got scared, that's unfortunate. That's your husband's fault because your husband that day should have said, this is my name, this is my address. You can either serve me with papers or I'll give you the information on my dogs. That's what he should have done right away. Your husband avoided responsibility. That's going to cost him because while his medical bills were only $176, he is suing for a lot more than $176. And I am going to give him a lot more because neither one of you people understand the word responsibility. He was bitten. That's terrifying. And it's not only terrifying, but days went by until he could get your information to find out whether or not your dogs were properly vaccinated. And you got to accept that responsibility. You didn't. I'm not going to tolerate your nonsense. You were scared because he was walking with a stick? Ridiculous. Wasn't walking with a stick the day that his animal and he were attacked in the park, but I certainly would arm myself subsequently if I were walking with my dogs. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I just hope that people who go to this park respect the other people and bring their dogs there and to enjoy nature in its purest form and not to harm anybody.
The repercussions from a dog bite are enormous. I had a very big recording session for movie soundtrack work. He was going to do 4 days for a big movie. It won many awards at Sundance Festival, Slam Dance. Couldn't do none of it because of his dog bite hand.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, my opinion is very simple. If you have 10 or 15 dogs involved in the fight, how can you say that one of the dogs bit him if indeed he was bitten?
Like, why would I be chasing ladies with sticks? You know, I chase hot ladies with sticks, you know, not like old ladies, you know what I mean?
That shook me up. I don't go to that park anymore. I wasn't sleeping for nights.
Thanks, Judge Judy.
Her son has a toy hammer banging on the window.
Her 2-year-old son?
Yes.
A boy called Chucky.
He's 2 years old.
He's a destructive child.
Then you should have watched him more carefully.
She should have watched him more carefully.
No, both of you.
He picked the glass up and he banged it on the table and broke it.
That's what children do. Children broke items in your house.
That is correct.
Let's deal with the first situation. You each have 2-year-olds, is that right?
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am. And you were visiting her home with your 2-year-old?
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you tell me what happened?
It was in the evening on a Thursday. We were in the kitchen talking, Cindy and I, and we heard this big crash. Ran into the living room. There was her son holding a drinking glass, and he had broken my glass coffee table.
Where did he get the drinking glass from?
It was sitting on the table.
Whose was it?
Could have been mine, I don't know. I didn't expect for them to come over, first of all, so, you know, your neighbors, you just kind of pop in. So I was in the kitchen. I didn't even know the glass was in there. And so we heard the crash, ran in there. Brandon was holding the glass, and she asked, is the table broke? Pulled the cover off the table, and it was broke.
What, it was a glass top table?
Yes, ma'am.
Why weren't the two of you supervising your children, your 2-year-olds?
My 2-year-old wasn't in the room.
How could you believe that that was her fault?
He was the only one in the room. He broke the table.
Miss Rivas, I'm going to give you a scenario. The drinking glass that caused the problem. Let us assume for the moment that her son broke it on your table and cut himself. You think that she could have sued you because her son injured himself in your house by someone negligently leaving this glass on the table and permitting a 2-year-old to be unsupervised? Of course. I mean, this is an accident. It's just as much the fault of the person who left the drinking glass there and didn't child-proof the house when children were there playing.
I totally agree. If I had known she was coming over, I would have child-proofed my house. She walked
into your house, but you were sitting in the kitchen and talking.
No, I was standing in the kitchen cooking. She was standing there talking. I asked, where was Brandon? Then all of a sudden, crash.
No, now you're making it up as you go along. Now you're making it up as you go along. Come on, Miss Rivas, let's get to the second item that's on your list. Second item involves a time when all of her children were over at your house. You say you have 4 children?
Yes, ma'am.
That you picked up her 4 children, and they were playing at your house.
That's correct.
Where was she?
She was at work. I was babysitting for her.
Okay. And what happened?
I was in the kitchen fixing, again, the kids something to eat. Walk around the corner. Her son has a toy hammer banging on the window.
Her 2-year-old son?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. I said, don't, and when I did, he hit it and the window broke.
You don't leave 2-year-olds unsupervised. You don't leave 2-year-olds unsupervised, Miss Rivas. You had assumed the responsibility of babysitting for her children. I don't know whether you did it for free or whether she paid you. Did she pay you?
She did, yes.
So then it was for hire. You were babysitting for her children for hire. And while you were doing that, you were negligent in permitting the 2-year-old to be unsupervised, and he was injured.
As far as the table goes, she was there. He was not under my care. His mother was there. She should have been supervising him. She expressed to me she was very apologetic for it. They would replace the table. That's okay. I don't want to lose a friendship over a piece of glass.
Absolutely right. Certainly, you are as responsible as she was.
And
with regard, you were as responsible as she. So did you say to her, no, we'll split the cost?
Exactly. That would have been fine. I would have accepted half of the cost from the Harris. We're both families with kids, didn't have a lot of money, didn't ask her for it. When they decided they were going to move back to where they came from, I, expressed to her that, we need to take care of the tabletop. So when it came time to pay for the tabletop is when we had a problem.
You have a bill for the tabletop?
I do.
Let me see it, please.
Can I also show you a picture of the table to show you that this wasn't a piece of thin glass, Your Honor, that was broken. This was a thick piece of glass that had to have some force.
He's 2 years old.
He's a destructive child.
Then you should have watched him more carefully.
She should have watched him more carefully.
No, both of you should have watched him more carefully.
He's not my child. Why should I watch him? I have a 2.5-year-old that doesn't break anything. He's not a destructive child because I've taught him not to be that way.
Well, this tabletop cost you $319.
Yes, ma'am.
Half the cost of $319 is not $2,500, which is what you're suing them for.
Yeah, yeah. I was a true friend, Your Honor.
So what does that have to do with $2,500 when she owes you so far $160?
When I confronted Cynthia about this, Cynthia was not woman enough to talk to me. She says to me, through her brother, I am not paying her for the table. I'm not taking any money out of my children's mouth. That kind of made me upset.
That's not $2,500.
Well, you know what?
Is that why you're suing her for $2,500?
My feelings are worth more than $2,500, and I thought if this woman is that, if she's going to be that kind of a neighbor, you know, people need to be responsible for their actions and their children's actions, and that's what she should have done.
Let me tell you this. I'm a great believer in responsibility.
I know you are.
You have responsibility and she has responsibility. When little children come over to play, either you ensure, come to your house, you either ensure that your house is child-proofed so that nobody gets injured, or you don't let any little children in your house that aren't yours. Be quiet. With regard to the second part of your complaint, that her child or children, a 2-year-old again, broke your window. By the way, was this before or after the table incident?
After.
Okay, so that as far as you just told me, her little 2-year-old is destructive. So if he's destructive and you are babysitting and you agree to babysit for money for that child, then you ensure that your eyes are on that child all the time. You make sure that that 2-year-old doesn't get into any trouble, mostly so that he doesn't get hurt himself. You didn't do that because by the time you walked into the room, he had the hammer in his hand and he was breaking the glass.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That's what children do. Did you ever go into a restaurant with little children? They pick things up and they pick up the glasses and they bang them and they bang the silverware and they make a whole racket. Did you ever do that?
And later today.
I mean, the guy's like a serial killer. Honestly, it's like living with a serial killer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joyce Rivas says her neighbors, Cynthia and Lonnie Harris's 2-year-old son, owe her for a broken window and a glass coffee table.
What do you want to say?
If you look at the picture, you'll see that there's a cloth on the table. That's what the glass was sitting on. It wasn't just sitting on top of the glass for him to knock over and break. He picked the glass up and he banged it on the table and broke it.
That's what children do.
And that's understandable.
Did you ever go into a restaurant with little children? They pick things up and they pick up the glasses and they bang them and they bang the silverware and they make a whole racket. Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I have children. I have grandchildren. My grandchildren are coming over. I take all the things that I treasure. And even if they walk in unexpectedly, I say, hold them off at the pass. While I take my good crystal and I take them off the coffee table and I take all the stuff and I put them up high and then I say, now you may bring in the little ones.
So should I have removed the table?
You should have removed the item on the table that allowed the child to pick up something big and heavy and bang it on the table, causing the glass. She's going to pay for half the glass because I think that that's reasonable and fair. She is not going to pay you $2,500 for your aggravation. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $160. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. Do I get my receipt back?
It's just really sad that a friendship can be ruined by this.
The parents need to be responsible. This is what's wrong with society. People are not responsible. And it is sad that this friendship had to end over a piece of glass.
And now the next case.
All parties on Humphrey versus Keller. Step forward, please.
40-year-old alarm installer Russ Humphrey claims 31-year-old waiter Russell Keller owes him for rent.
Mr. Keller.
Yes.
You found the plaintiff who was looking for a roommate.
Correct.
Through a newspaper ad?
Correct.
How long did you live with him?
Approximately a year.
What was the rental arrangement, sir?
It was $825 And I paid $400. He paid $820 or $425 since he had the deck, and shared utilities.
Okay. And where were you working during that year, sir?
I worked at Point 705 restaurant, and then I worked at Kincaid's restaurant.
Was there ever a time you weren't working?
A couple weeks doing construction, odd jobs.
Okay, but you were continually employed while you were living
Correct.
with him. Okay. When you were employed at these restaurants, you made tips?
Yes.
And you were also paid a salary?
Yes.
And you paid a salary by check?
Correct.
So you deposited that in your checking account?
Yeah.
And your checking account indicated that each week, with the exception of perhaps a couple of weeks that you worked for the construction company, you had weekly salary checks.
Yes.
Is that right?
I cashed them at a check cashing service.
Oh, now you thought again, sir. You see how smart I am? Do you think that I'm stupid? Do you think that they keep me here and pay me all this money because I'm a moron? Huh?
Personally?
Mr. Keller.
Personally?
Personally.
No, I don't think you're a moron.
You're absolutely right, sir. So now you're beginning to understand what I'm saying to you. You say, she's got me. And how am I going to get out of this?
Oh, she doesn't have it.
Oh, sure she does. Sure she does. Where are your rent checks?
I paid in cash.
That's
Or
what I
signed
thought you
my
were going to
checks
say,
over
which
to
is
him.
why we started at the beginning. Which is why you said to me you had a checking account and you would take your weekly salary checks and put them in your checking account. That's what you said to me. And then you said, ooh, ooh. Then she's going to say to me, where are my rent checks? So I took him to a check cashing place. It all in, how many seconds was that it
Must have
changed?
been
It went
10.
from checking account, it went from checking account to check cashing place?
Because I wasn't listening to your words closely enough.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate for you, Mr. Keller. All right, Mr. Humphrey, now let's get to you. He lived with you for how long, sir?
11 months.
And how many times did he pay rent?
I covered his rent for 7 months.
Well, let me ask you this question, sir. Why did you carry him for 7 months? Why didn't you just throw him out on the street?
And I thought he was worth the risk.
What do you mean?
He said I would get the money from him.
If I can, I have a statement of my last rent payment, which I'd like to submit.
Sure.
Which was January's rent, and then I was given a 30-day notice on, what, February 10th?
Just a second. Who signed this?
My landlord.
Who's the landlord?
When?
Good. Step up here, sir. You own the property where they reside?
Yes.
How many times did Mr. Keller come in to pay rent?
Usually, Mr. Henry sent me a personal check, full amount.
So this was the only time that he came and paid himself?
The January might be second one because from December,
Third
January.
or fourth time I paid him.
Okay. So you say you paid him 3 or 4 times?
Yes.
So I assume each time you paid him, he gave you a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
I moved recently, so that's the last one I could find. All the other stuff is buried in my files. I couldn't find it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Oh, he's a strange bird. There's some stories, there's some depth that goes on when I first moved in there.
If you're an intelligent man, then if you're living with somebody that you think is weird, then you pack your bag and you move out.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Russ Humphrey is suing former roommate Russell Keller for rent and utilities.
Mr. Humphrey, why in the world would you let this guy stay in your house and cover his rent for 7 months? After a month, maybe 2 months, but then...
Well, I asked him to leave in June of '98, but he wouldn't leave. I have proof here that I asked him in June to leave, and he wouldn't.
Let me see.
He would tell my friends weird things about me when I wouldn't be around, like, you know, go look for him down at the beach. There might be a body bag down there. I mean, the guy's like a serial killer. Honestly, it's like living with a serial killer.
Then you should have moved.
I did.
You want-
I
you
left
want-
for fear of my safety.
You wanted me to tell you why you didn't move? Because you had a very good deal.
Yeah, I was paying $400 living by the beach.
No, I got news for you. You weren't paying $400 because if you remember a second ago, sir, I said to you, how many of these do you have? And you said to me, I have 3 or 4.
3 or 4 times I paid specifically to when.
Mr. Keller, why do you think he finally asked you to leave?
He was going to leave originally, and I was going to have somebody else move in. I already had it set up and everything, and he, for some reason, decided he didn't want to move out.
Is that right?
Originally, I wanted to move into a property that I was remodeling, but he fell behind 2 months, and he said he was going to give me the money so I could move. He never came up with the money. I kept asking him for it.
Well,
and
so
finally,
that's 2 months. Where are the 7 months?
What I think I can prove is the amount of $1,700.24.
Show me.
What I did in January is post this so he could see this is the amount of utilities and rents that he was behind.
When did he
I posted
finally
it on
move
the
out?
bulletin board.
When did he finally move out?
He moved out after I signed a new lease March 8th of 1999.
Well, you know, this is what you posted when? In January of 99. You said payable $522. 37 cents.
Look below it.
Below it is the carryover of $1,200.
Okay. In January, he paid his $400. He paid it late, but he paid his $400
I was caught up. That was January's payment to him.
He's a receipt.
Made for payment. I was caught up. Everything was square. I didn't pay rent for February because I got a 30-day notice. I was out within my 30 days. I'm even with this fool. I don't even know where he's coming up with all this money.
How did you pay him all the utilities?
He would put a note up on the bulletin board saying what I'd owe, and I'd leave him 20 here, 40 there, 40 here.
Very bad way to do business, Mr. Humphrey. Okay. This was, sir, posted as of January 15th, 1999. He has a letter from the landlord that a week later, he went and paid $400. Do you understand? So that his January rent is caught up. Do you understand? So this isn't $522, it's $122. Now, then you have a carryover from July of 98.
He never caught up from falling behind.
Then you should have evicted him. Did you take money from him in cash ever?
Yes.
Did you give him receipts?
I gave him some receipts, yeah.
Some receipts isn't helpful, Mr. Humphrey. All I know is, based upon your figure, from August of 98 to January of 99, he owed you $522.37 for rent and utilities. Now, he probably owes you some money from over a year ago, but you accepted money from him. You just told me in cash, some of it, right?
Yeah.
Next time, keep better records, Mr. Humphrey.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
I want you to take a look at these utility bills, sir. Do you owe any of that money?
I'm probably short maybe about $30 on utilities through the life of the existence there.
Well, your answer says that you owe him at least $100 for utilities.
It was a rough judgment, trying to be, you know, lenient on his part maybe.
Mr. Keller, let me tell you this, sir. There isn't a question in my mind that you probably owe him money for rent. His problem is he cannot prove that you owe him money for rent, because if you were a good tenant and you paid your rent on time, you paid your utilities on time, there wouldn't have been any reason for him to file this, you know, to file this claim.
Oh, he's a strange bird. There's some stories, there's some depth that goes on from when I first moved in there.
Mr. Keller, if you're an intelligent man, then if you're living with somebody that you think is weird, then you pack your bag and you move out. So there isn't a question.
I tried to help him out. I just tried to help him out.
Mr. Keller, try not to speak over me, sir. It irritates me. So there isn't a question in my mind that you took advantage of him and you didn't pay all your rent. Right? And he wasn't about to do anything. For whatever reason, he wasn't about to do anything. However, he keeps lousy records. You paid in cash. He didn't give you receipts. He didn't keep copies of money orders that you gave him, checks that you gave him. He's got Zippo. So he says he thinks you owe him 7 months' rent. So I'm giving you what you say that he owes you in utilities, which is $122.37. That's all.
All right, is our excuse. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You know, I think it was a fair judgment. He's definitely a strange bird to live with. Like I said, I'm glad to be out of the situation.
I thought it was a good risk. He said he was going to give me the money. Never did. Now he's lying.
Watch who you live with. Might be a serial killer.
always tell when you're not telling me the truth. Why people think that they can come here and lie to me.
The boss blamed his messenger.
You first had notice that this employee had been involved in thefts. Knowing that, you sent him to a jewelry store. A jewelry store. And he does.
Have a seat, please.
Miss Fisher, you own a jewelry store?
That's correct.
And Mr. Willoughby, you own a company that services fax machines.
Copy machines.
Copy machines. According to your complaint, you had some trouble in the store with one of your copy machines.
Right.
And telephoned the defendant to fix it.
Correct.
He sent an employee. How long had this employee been with you?
Approximately about 1 year.
And when the employee left, so did some of your jewelry.
Correct.
How do you know it was his employee that took the jewelry?
At the time, we were not sure. We did a search of the store, actually over a several-day search, actually questioned all the employees that were in the store. After the area that the jewelry was at is a secured area that we don't let the public go into. It's basically just employees or if somebody was coming to service something. And upon not being able to find it, then is when I contacted Active Copier.
That's the defendant's company.
Correct.
What jewelry was taken?
We had, the largest piece was a 4-carat diamond tennis bracelet. We had a 14-karat gold and diamond watch. Then we also had some costume pieces that were just pieces that I was going to redesign into new pieces. They weren't really valuable. The only 2 pieces we were really worried about was the tennis bracelet and the watch.
So you contacted the defendant and asked him what he knew about it.
Actually, who I contacted was a gentleman by the name of Lloyd. At the time, I had always thought that he was the owner. That's how he had portrayed himself to us. We kind of had a friendship basis, and up until that point, I thought he was the owner. And I had called him and told him that I suspected that Leroy had took the items, that we had searched the store.
Leroy was the employee?
Yes.
Was he ever arrested?
I had found out from Lloyd, yes, he had been arrested in the
for
past.
this, subsequently, was he ever arrested for this theft?
Yes.
He was. Was he convicted?
Yes. Well, actually, what I was told by the police is that they plea bargained on my case to get a settlement on some other thefts that he had done.
So he pled guilty on your case?
Yes.
So there is no question that your employee took the jewelry?
No.
There's no question about that?
Well, all I know is that whenever he was there, she said that he took the jewelry.
He pled guilty?
Yes, he did plead guilty.
That's it.
That's
He
right.
pled guilty, and you know that he pled guilty.
I know that he pled guilty to some other things, but I didn't know if he pled guilty to her stuff or not, because I know that he was arrested
have the
for some
paperwork?
other
I do have the
things.
paperwork from
Let
the
me
police
see it,
department
please.
with that confession. This is also the pawn shop ticket with his signature where he had pawned it at a local pawn shop. Second here. This is the police report on the back. This is the date that it was filed. This is probably what she needs to see, would be the back page.
He confessed.
Yes.
Yes, he did. Okay. So, Mr. Willoughby, your employee goes there to service a copy machine. He's operating within the scope of his employment to fix that copy machine, and he lifts a couple of $1,000s worth of jewelry. Why aren't you responsible?
Well, for one reason, I feel like that it's more of a criminal act than it is where we didn't steal our jewelry. Our company doesn't condone our employees stealing jewelry. I didn't take it. My partner didn't take it. We found out 2 weeks later we terminated our relationship.
All right, I have a couple of
And
questions.
then we tried to turn it into our insurance company after we had spoke with her. Our insurance company denied the claim because we did not sustain any loss at our establishment. Now, if our employee had dropped the copier, it would have paid for that. But it's not going to pay for a loss in her business. And I have a letter right here stating that why our insurance company
I don't
denied
care
the
why your
claim.
insurance company is disclaiming, sir. That's your insurance company's problem. As between, well, there are a couple of other things before I get to that. Did you have any prior notice that he had been involved in some thefts? Or perhaps had been involved in some thefts?
Yes,
Yes.
around the same time, we sure did.
No, not around the same time. Before you sent him out to her jewelry store, did you or did you not have...
This all happened within a few days.
Listen to me. Let's be very clear on this, Mr. Willoughby. Before you sent him out to her jewelry store, had you received complaints of missing items from other places where you had sent him to service machines?
No.
Are you telling me that the complaints came in afterwards?
Yes, within a day or two afterwards, we had some.
I don't know if I believe you, sir. I'm not sure if I believe you. Go ahead.
Can I say something? Mr., which is a business partner with him, had told me when I called that they had had numerous complaints. He was not surprised
all right,
at all
Mr.
when I
Willoughby,
made the
so
call.
I'm going to ask you again so that I don't have to verify it. Before you sent him out to her jewelry store, had you had any complaints that were either called into you or written to your company involving items that were stolen from places where Leroy serviced machines?
Yes, we did.
All right. Always tell when you're not telling me the truth. Why people think that they can come here and lie to me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
The value of the jewelry was $1,650, which is the wholesale price. Is that right?
Yes.
Boy, I'd love to get wholesale jewelry at your place.
Yeah.
And later today,
So you knew him for a month and a half and you co-signed a car for him that cost how much?
$36,000, Your Honor.
You couldn't buy a cheaper car?
Well, we were planning a future together.
After a month?
Yes.
That's smart.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jewelry shop owner Gina Fisher claims an employee of Jeff Willoughby's copy repair company stole her jewelry when he fixed her copier.
Here we go. This is not a difficult case, Mr. Willoughby. You first had notice that there were complaints by other customers of yours that this employee had been involved in thefts. Knowing that, you sent him to a jewelry store. A jewelry store. And he does it again. Now, on this side, there's an innocent who has no knowledge of your employee. On this side, there's a guilty who had knowledge of the employee's potential prior bad acts. Even if you didn't know about it, you would still be responsible because under the laws of agency, you are responsible for the acts of your agent while he is operating within what we used to call in law school the scope of his employment, which is he was there to fix a copy machine and he lifted property. He hadn't gone in there after hours to go shopping. See, if he had gone in there when he was finished working and he wasn't there to do something for your company and he just came into the store and lifted the property, you wouldn't be responsible. He is not there as your agent. But if he's operating within the scope of his employment, fixing the machine, you're liable. You are especially liable because you had notice of his prior tendency to lift property that didn't belong to him. What was the value of this property?
I do have an amendment. I don't know that if you need that. At the time when we originally filed, we had done it for $1,650, which just was the wholesale replacement that it cost me. However, uncanny as it seems, the copier still does not work, which we got billed for, so I didn't know if we were allowed to add that to it or not.
No.
Okay.
That's not part of your complaint here. So
Okay.
the value of the jewelry was $1,650, which is the wholesale price. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Boy, I'd love to get wholesale jewelry at your place.
Yeah.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,650. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They thought it was a joking matter. And, you know, I got a lot of laughing. I got a lot of, we're not going to be responsible for him, you know, good luck, that type of thing. And, you know, I was kind of appalled with that position that they took.
We didn't find it a laughing matter. We were
No, we did not.
We did not find that a laughing matter. We
No.
didn't laugh. I mean,
She said that she wanted 3 times the amount of the suit and interest and all that. Now that I laughed about. I thought that was a joke. I mean, you know, I wasn't about to pay her interest and 3 times the amount. I thought this is why we're here.
I think businesses should check into the type of employees that they hire. I think she made that very clear. Very happy.
He stole things from our company as well, and he's in jail for that.
Watch who you hire.
And now the next case.
All parties on Reeser versus Dunahee. Step forward, please.
23-year-old teacher Dawn Reeser claims she co-signed a Chevy Tahoe truck for former boyfriend, 28-year-old recreational director Jason Dunahee. It was repossessed and sold at a loss. She wants him to pay the difference.
Ms. Reeser, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were involved in a relationship. He wanted a car. He couldn't finance the car. You co-signed for the car. The relationship was over. He missed some payments. You repossessed the car, sold it, and you want him to pay the difference.
Half of the difference, yes.
Okay. How long did you have this relationship before you co-signed this loan?
We had known each other since September, and we co-signed on the car November, 15th.
So you knew him for a month and a half, and you co-signed for a car for him that cost how much?
$36,000, Your Honor.
Not smart.
I know, Your Honor.
$36,000. What do you do for a living that you need a $36,000 car?
We're both teachers.
You couldn't buy a cheaper car?
Well, we were planning a future together.
After a month?
Yes. Yes.
That's not too smart either.
In hindsight, no. But at the
Yeah.
time, I trusted in her and believed what she was telling me
That
as far
what?
as our relationship went.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
How long was this car loan? 5 years, 4 years?
6 years.
6 years! Longer than most marriages.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Dawn Reeser wants ex-boyfriend Jason Dunahee to pay her for her loss on a Chevy Tahoe truck.
What kind of car did you buy for $36,000?
It was a Chevy Tahoe.
Okay. And how long after you bought the car did you find out that this relationship was going nowhere?
About 2 months afterwards.
What happened after 2 months?
After 2 months, the relationship was going nowhere. Therefore, I needed to resolve the situation of the car. I contacted the defendant and asked him to do several different things. Either one, refinance the car so my name was off the loan, or we could sell the car and then pay the difference.
And what did he say?
He said that at first he wanted to refinance the vehicle. Then he called back later that evening and said no, he wanted to sell the vehicle.
Okay, so now you're not together.
Correct.
Correct? And who's driving the Chevy Tahoe?
The defendant.
And you knew that the relationship was now over?
At this point, yes.
And how long was this car loan? 5 years, 4 years?
6 years.
6 years?
Yes.
Longer than most marriages. Okay, so you could have sold it. You may have had to take a couple of $1,000 loss.
Well, when she proposed selling the Tahoe, I showed her this Auto Trader that showed comparable vehicles that demonstrated we would have taken approximately a $7,000 to $10,000 car shortfall.
But you never went into the dealer and said, I have to return this car.
No, not at that time. But I showed her that there was going to be a shortfall, and I also made it known that I did not have the financial reserves to make up any sort of shortfall. The option I did offer to her, finally, was I said, fine, I will assume full responsibility for the full payment if she would just be patient with me until June, when I would be up for a raise and a promotion. And I was also taking
We're now in sometime in November.
At this time, it was February.
February.
It was
Now, had you made all of the payments until February?
up to that time, yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So what did you do?
I did not want to have the tie with him. I chose that because I did own my vehicle
at the time to go ahead and turn in the Tahoe to the dealer, which gave me the most amount of money. And then I took out a loan against my previously paid off car to cover the shortfall. And now I'm asking for half of that because I'm taking partial responsibility.
Well, did you go together to sell the car, or did you just do it yourself?
I went and he agreed to sell the vehicle. He told me that I could, that day I picked up the car to go take it to dealerships to see how much we could get for it. He said that he had cleaned out the vehicle and that he could, you know, if you find a place to sell it, turn it in. So I turned it into...
Well, had you discussed what would happen when you turned it in?
Yes, we had, and I had told him because I knew he did not have the financial resources to cover the shortfall, I would do that with the personal loan. But I needed it in my own name, so my credit was in my own hands.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
So I understand that what you've done was very foolish, but let me clearly explain to you why I'm going to deny your application in this case for half. A, you co-signed on a loan for him. He had the car. If you were to tell me that he had not made payments, that would give you some impetus to say, well, he has breached our agreement to make current payments, and therefore I have no choice but to do this, but to protect myself from a $36,000 debt, right? If I wait 6 months or a year, it could be much more, and my credit is impacted. But he was current in his payments. Then you opted, rather than to wait until June, which is your option, when he would try to renegotiate the loan, to take the vehicle without an agreement with him, either in writing or orally, that if the vehicle is sold, or when the vehicle is sold, he will be responsible for half the shortfall. So you made the choice, probably wisely, that you didn't want to be involved at all anymore.
Correct.
That's an emotional decision, Ms. Reeser.
Okay.
And you don't get paid for an emotional decision. You get paid for a contract. The contract either has to be in writing or a contract can be oral under certain conditions. In this case, he was abiding by the terms of your agreement that he would have the car and he would pay for the car. And it wasn't, although it was sort of implied, it wasn't conditioned on the two of you being together. Never sat down with him when you went to the dealership and said, listen, I'm going to co-sign this loan, but it's only as long as we are together and we're going to build a life together. You sort of assumed that. That's not what you can bring to court. So I have really no option in this case but to dismiss your lawsuit. Now, you understand that there may be a certain moral obligation that you have to try to cover some of the losses that she incurred. That's up to you. That's not something that a court can enforce. Because I'm certain that if you find somebody else next year or next month, that person wouldn't have wanted you to be tied together for the next 6 years. Very good lesson.
Yes.
Don't know somebody 6 weeks and sign on for a $36,000 car. No. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'm very happy with the decision. I would have let her out for no money. She didn't have to pay anything with my original offer, and she chose to do this, took it upon herself. That was why I didn't feel I was responsible, because she never consulted me with the terms of the deal, and so she had to pay for it. And I'm just happy it's over, and I'm looking forward to moving on with everything.
I thought that maybe I could win. I'm going to take her agreement. It's true, I did take an emotional stand, and I just needed to be away from the defendant.
I mean, she was willing to take her responsibility. Why isn't he?
As far as a moral obligation goes, again, she could have been out for nothing. She could have been out for no money at all, and she chose to go about it this way, and that was her decision.
I have learned many things about buying cars, about people, and about myself.
I learned a lot. It's a growing experience, it's a learning experience, and I'm not as trusting now as I was before. And so on that end, it was a good experience, I think.
The day that I moved in with Mr. Galante, he grabbed my rear end as I went up his stairs, would not allow me to go down the stairs unless I kissed him.
Sexual harassment or not?
Somebody physically touched her in a sexual way, and she chose to stay there.
I had no other choice.
Baloney.
Baloney.
Baloney. And I want to tell you what else is baloney.
Yes, it is.
What kind of property is this?
It's a home, Your Honor.
And how long has she been living in your home?
Since September of '89. I mean, '98, I'm sorry.
Okay. And according to your complaint, she has failed to pay rent and owes you for utilities. Is that
Right,
correct?
exactly.
Even though she's still living there.
Right.
She is counterclaiming for some nonsense about pain and suffering and potential moving costs. When did she stop paying you rent, sir?
In the middle of February, she paid me half of February's rent.
February of '98?
'99.
So how much does she owe you for February?
$200.
And?
Rent for March.
She has not paid March.
Exactly.
So that's another $400.
Right.
Now what about the utilities?
She paid me for September and part of October, and $100 in either January or February.
What was the lease agreement?
50% of all the utilities and her long-distance phone calls.
Okay. And in total, what does she owe you for the utilities and for her long-distance phone calls?
$799 and 97 cents, Your Honor.
Okay. And did you begin proceedings to have her evicted?
Yes, ma'am.
When she paid you, did she pay you by check or cash or money order?
By cash.
Okay. Did you give her a receipt each time?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And what about the utilities? When she paid you the utilities, did you give her a receipt?
Yes, I did.
You have any copies of those receipts?
Your Honor, when I prepared for this case, my receipt book suddenly turned up missing. It was in a dresser drawer, and the defendant had full run of the house while I was at work because she's unemployed at the time.
Okay. Okay. Now, you have proof that you paid him full $400 in February.
I have a receipt for $200. I spoke with Mr. Galante.
Can I see all of your receipts, please?
Absolutely.
Good. I have a receipt here, sir, that allegedly says she gave you $500 for utilities in February of '99.
I did not write one for $500, Your
Yes,
Honor.
you did, Mark.
No, he didn't.
He
you want to
did,
know
ma'am.
why? Do you want to know why he didn't?
Why?
I'm going to tell you why. Because you only paid him $200 for rent in February. You have this receipt for $500, allegedly, that you gave him for utilities, which comes at approximately the same time as your rent for February. Now, why would he not give you a receipt for the other half of February's rent when he gave you a receipt for the $200 for February, and according to you, he gave you a receipt for $500 for utilities?
Okay, can I explain two other receipts that are in there to you? I gave Mr. Galante $900 in the beginning of December. Mr. Galante argued with me that he did not receive this $900. When I returned to his home in January, he then gave me a receipt for $800 in January for that rent, and then that same day gave me also my receipt for my $400 for my January rent.
She allegedly left the money. She left me a note. I'd gone down to my mother's house, and when I returned, there was a note on my counter that said that there was $900 on the counter for rent and utilities. I looked all over the counter, through everything in my kitchen. Nowhere could I find any money at all. I had questioned her about that, and she said, well, it must be there because I left it. She, in turn, looked for it and could not find it.
Did she pay you $500 for utilities?
No, ma'am.
Yes, I did.
Where did you put this money when she gave you rent money and utility money?
Spent it. Either I'd pay my utilities that were coming up in cash, or I would spend them on things that I needed, like groceries or other things.
Well, let's get to your counterclaim for a minute. You want him to pay for your moving expenses. You want him to pay for your phone transfers, rental fees, pain and suffering, and sexual harassment.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to hear you.
Okay. The day that I moved in with Mr. Galante, he grabbed my rear end as I went up his stairs. The next evening, I found him with his bedroom door going up the stairs wide open in his jockey shorts, asleep. He could have closed his door. He cornered me at the top of the stairs many times, would not allow me to go down the stairs unless I kissed him. He made my bed, laid lingerie out on my bed for when I came home from work to see. He has threatened me since January to terminate my lease. But these are all threats that he was going to terminate my lease, then turning around telling me, don't worry about it, I'd like you to stay.
So what you're telling me, Ms. Thorns, is as follows. That despite the fact that from day one of you moving into this place, you felt sexually harassed, you continued to live there, and you viewed the letters months later that he was evicting you as threats. And that was despite the fact that all the time that you lived there, you were the victim of sexual harassment. Is that what you're telling me?
I am, ma'am, but I wasn't able to move. I had just received a layoff notice.
Go to a shelter. If I moved into somebody's home as a tenant, and the first day I moved there, I walked up the stairs and they grabbed my behind, unless I found them particularly attractive, I would have not unpacked my bag, stopped payment on my checks, and left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This man is a stranger to you. You moved into his home, according to you, from day one. You were the victim of his sexual harassment. You stayed.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mark Galante is suing Elizabeth Thorns for rent and utilities. Elizabeth is countersuing for sexual harassment.
You know something? I don't believe you. I don't believe that a person who is articulate and appears normal, lives in a situation for September, October, November, December, January, February, and fights eviction, and then turns around and sues somebody for sexual harassment.
I didn't fight him for eviction, Your Honor. He told me to stay. He told me to go. He told me to stay. He told me to go.
What are you, a puppet? He tells you to go. He tells you to stay. You're being sexually harassed. You pack your bags and you go.
When I first moved in there, he told me that he was brought in by security to his supervisor. This was specifically.
Listen to me. I'm not interested in your nonsense.
His harassment's gone on with other people, Your Honor.
I don't care about other people. I care about you. I care about somebody who says to me that the first time she walked up the stairs in the house, somebody physically touched her in a sexual way, and she chose to stay there.
I had no other choice.
Baloney.
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 No
and I want to tell you what else is baloney. Baloney is this $500 receipt for utilities because on the 13th of February, he writes you a letter, and he says in the letter, the reason he's terminating your lease is because you are delinquent in rent and because you owe $550 for utilities.
Okay, I don't.
Just a second. $550 for utilities, November 98 to February 99. And what you're telling me is after you got this,
overpaid him.
After you got this threatening letter, you paid him $500 for utilities, but you have no receipt for February, the remainder of February's rent or March rent. I don't believe it.
I didn't pay him February rent or March rent because I left his home in December. I paid rent for December. I paid all the utilities for December. Mr. Galante told me, don't worry about March. You paid for December. You weren't here.
Okay. My rationale is very simple. When you have rent receipts for every other month, but the months that are covered by his complaint, which are $600, $200 for February and $400 for March, I find that you did not pay that rent. I also find, based upon the evidence that was presented here, by way of receipts which I have examined and the letters which you have provided, that you owe him $799 for utilities. That's $1,490. Now I'm going to address your counterclaim. Any normal person, if they feel as if they are the victim of sexual harassment, who is not bound by marriage, children, family, and if they feel as if they are in an abusive relationship but have absolutely no other way out, I can understand and rationalize them staying in a home. Your situation is entirely different.
I had
This
to stay
man,
in my
this man
bedroom.
is a stranger to you. You moved into his home, according to you, from day one. You were the victim of his sexual harassment.
I was.
You stayed, and there was no reason for you to stay there. Women have a choice. You have a choice, and I gave you what your choice
To take
was.
my 7-year-old son
Go.
and stay in a shelter? I don't think so.
Absolutely. Let your 7-year-old son go with his father, go with your family, and if you don't have family, if you're telling me, madam, that not only don't you have parents, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles that you could come to and say, I need a place to stay for a week because I made a big mistake, I don't believe you. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $14.90.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had nowhere else to go, and I would not put my son in a situation of danger of a shelter.
This
We
man
live
is
in
an
Seattle, Washington.
Animal.
I have a statement from her stating that she would not file anything. And again, she's gone against her word.
It's gonna go further.
This man is a nut.
Yeah.
And women
You're
should be
welcome.
afraid of him.
And now the next case.
All parties on Ratzlaff versus Sims. Step forward, please.
81-year-old Elmer Ratzlaff is suing his late son's girlfriend, 54-year-old Niona Sims, for a credit card, eviction, and funeral costs.
Mr. Ratzlaff.
Yes,
According to your complaint, sir, the defendant was your son's live-in girlfriend for 10 years.
that's right, Your Honor.
Your son passed away in August of last year, of 1998.
Yes,
Is
Your
that
Honor.
right? And at the time that he passed away, your son and the defendant were living in a small home that you owned.
Yes, that's right, Your Honor.
Your lawsuit is for three things. The first thing is you moved to evict her shortly after your son's death. Is that right?
Yes,
So you want the legal fees that were incurred.
yes,
You also say that she should have been responsible for the funeral expenses for your son,
yes, Your Honor.
and she did not pay. You paid.
Yes, I did.
And the third part of your lawsuit is that you say that there is a credit card, and she should pay the bill.
Yes,
Okay. So I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
yes.
Was your son working, employed at the time of his death?
My son was on a permanent disability.
Were you working at the time you were living together?
No, I also am in Social Security disability.
Why did you move to evict her so shortly after your son's death? Your son died on August 11th, according to these papers, 1998.
Yes,
And you began eviction proceedings, according to these statements, September 8th? Is that right?
I had given them an eviction notice way back in July
Why had you served them with an eviction notice in July?
because I felt that they had facilities now and means by which they could stand on their own feet.
So less than a month after your son died, you hired a lawyer to evict her.
I had to.
When did you finally vacate the premises?
Okay, it was around it was the 14th of November, I believe, Your Honor.
What's the nature of your disability?
It's called neuromyasthenia, and it is a disease of the whole nervous system, and it leaves you totally weak, bedridden, in extreme, excruciating pain.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As between you and her family, seems to me it was your responsibility to bury your son.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Elmer Ratzlaff claims his late son's girlfriend, Niona Sims, owes him for a credit card, eviction, and funeral costs.
All right, now tell me about this credit card.
They came to me with this credit card problem. They said that we need some things and we don't have the means to buy them. Could we use your credit card? And I said, you can use it as long as you pay your bill. Well, they were paying on this, really, until my son passed away. After that, everything stopped.
And how much is left on that bill?
$2,844 and I think 70 cents.
Do you have a copy of that last bill?
Yes, I have, Your Honor. I got it right here, Your Honor. There's also
Did
a
you-
$500 charge in there that was given to her son by my credit card.
Did you write out a check to your son for $500?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the check. Did Mr. Raslaf Jr. also used the credit card.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Now, you were paying on this credit card for a long period of time.
Yes, Your Honor. Up until I was evicted because I could afford it. The rent was $200 a month.
How did you and Mr. Raslaf Jr. pay this credit card bill all along from the time you first had it? Did you pool your disability money and then pay it? Is that how you did it?
I was very careful not to abuse the card. Everything that I charged, I paid for. My payments ran at least $150 a month.
Well, even if they ran $150 a month, there were things that were constantly added to this credit card.
By him. But I did pay my bill.
Well, we don't know that. If you pooled your money together and paid this bill, then you can't say, I paid my bill, the rest of it is his. At least part of this is yours. I'm not suggesting that you are responsible for this entire bill. You understand that she's not responsible for this entire bill.
Your Honor, I didn't use any of those bills. I didn't use
I
them.
understand that, sir. She's not responsible for your son's bills. When you allow someone to use your credit card, sir, you always run the risk of being responsible for the bills. I can't go through these things because your son isn't here to tell me exactly what he spent and what she spent. Now, somebody's got to be responsible for Charlie's bills because you're not his wife.
Correct. And we were roommates. We were not lovers. And we had nothing between us other than a deep friendship.
$1,240 is your share of what you owe him for the credit card. Now, let's get to the funeral expenses. Did you pay the funeral expenses for your son?
Yes, Your Honor, I did because they refused to pay it.
Who refused to pay it?
Her family and Niona.
Mr. Raslaf, as between you and her family, seems to me, was your responsibility to bury your son. Now, she has no legal responsibility to pay the cost of the funeral. Neither do you. It's very sad when a parent has to bury their child, but if unfortunately that's what happens, and if the child has no funds, you as the parent have the option of either saying, listen, you can take him over to Potter's Field and I'm not paying for the burial, or bury him. But if you paid for it, you can't then come back and sue her for the money for the funeral expenses.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Okay, Mr. Raslaf, this is not a very difficult case, sir. What did your son die from?
They finally called it hypertensive cardiac disease, and that's what they put on a death certificate.
Had he been ill, or was this sudden?
The day before he died, he was working in the yard or was doing something. He seemed all right to me. That morning, he was gone.
So this is a sad thing. And right now, this lady is not in your life anymore, although she doesn't seem like a bad lady to me, quite frankly, sir.
I don't hate her.
I certainly think that she has a responsibility to pay for half of that credit card. Do you understand? I don't think she has an obligation to pay for your son's funeral. And quite frankly, Mr. Raslaf, I am not awarding you anything for the counsel fees that you paid to have her evicted, because my sense is that she would have been out of that place within a reasonable period of time after your son's death, had you just given her a little time and told her to leave. She is going to pay what I believe is a reasonable portion of the credit card bill that she and your son amassed during the time that he was alive. So I am awarding you $1,240. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He evicted me because we were living in sin. And I say before God and this court, we lived together as best friends.
The biggest complaint with the relationship was their way of life to begin with. I never did approve of it.
Mrs. Shula, I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible. I find it very difficult to believe what you're telling me, Mrs. Shula. You should butt out and let them resolve their differences without you.
Meet Mrs. Schuler, the mother-in-law.
Mrs. Schuler, I just think that you're interjecting yourself into whatever's going on here, and you probably shouldn't. Quite. Mrs. Schuler, this is your former husband. Are you currently in the process of getting a divorce, or are you already divorced?
Getting divorced.
And you are his mother?
Yes.
Your lawsuit alleges that when you separated and moved out of the home where you were living, and the home belonged to you, is that
Yes.
right? Certain of your property was left, both your property that you had before you were married, as well as the gifts, your wedding gifts from your side of the family. You want your property back.
Right.
Why shouldn't she have her property back?
When she was moving up, before they were married, she called and asked me to write a check for the moving van, and that she would pay me as soon as she came to town. I had no relationship with Julie other than the fact that she was with my son. 2 different occasions she said, as soon as I get to town, I will pay you. I have never been paid for it. Here is the copy of my canceled check where I paid it. I have repeatedly asked her to pay it, and she has repeatedly neglected to do so. There is also rent that was never paid. There are vet bills that were never paid.
Is that why you didn't return her property to her?
No. The
Well, then,
biggest
but that's...
The
Mrs.
biggest
Schuler.
reason I didn't return it to her is because she called me. She said, I'm sending a moving van up Wednesday. Have my stuff ready. She had left. I took the stuff, I had to physically move it, store it in my garage. I don't know what's hers. I don't know what's his. And I see no reason why, given my age and state of health, that I should pack and go through all of this rigmarole for something that she says belongs to her.
Well, she's absolutely right. If you want your stuff moved, you have to go back and figure out what's yours and what's not yours. Why should she do that?
It's all marked in boxes. It's all labeled.
So
I
you-
packed it all myself.
So what you're telling me is you actually packed it?
I packed everything.
No, ma'am, she didn't.
Just a second. She says she packed her things. Your complaint was that why should you go through all of those things and have to pack for her? And I absolutely agreed with you, Mrs. Schuler.
Yeah.
But she says she packed everything, and everything she wants are in boxes with her name on it. Is that right?
Yep.
She did not do that. When I was told by my son...
Just a second. Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Are there boxes in your garage with your wife's name on it?
There are.
How many?
You know, I'm not real clear. Unfortunately, some of the stuff was not packed by her. That's not entirely true. I was out of town, so she packed some, and then she decided to take off and go out of town on her own thing. My parents were good enough, since I was on a business trip, to finish packing the house and move everything into the garage. All their things are integrated in the garage. Since she did pack, there's possibly some of the things are mine. I really don't know.
What do you mean possibly some of the things of
Well,
yours? Did you go through all the boxes, Mr.
I
Schuler?
haven't. That's the thing. I really haven't gone through all of this stuff because, again, I wasn't there when it was packed. I've gone down a few times and gone through some things to try and find some of my own belongings. And yeah, I do see boxes that just say just Julie, but does that mean that it's all hers? I don't necessarily agree with that. Some were wedding presents to both of us. I mean, it's really, we would need to sit down, the two of us, and go through all this.
I
you know.
absolutely agree with you. Do you understand?
Yes.
What you have to do is you have to make a trip there, sit down with your husband, not your mother-in-law, and go through the things and see if you can resolve what's yours and what's his.
Right.
That sounds pretty simple.
Right.
So what's your problem?
I don't have a problem.
Good, because I can't make a judgment as to whether the stuff that's there is yours or not. He's absolutely right. Just because you packed it doesn't mean he's prepared to say that everything in there is yours.
I gave him a list, and he agreed everything on the list was mine.
Did she give you a list?
Yeah, she faxed a copy of a list. A lot of the things I do agree with. However, where's that list? You know, a lot of things like skis, stereo equipment, odds and ends. What I don't agree with are some of the things on there, in particular wedding gifts, things we acquired together.
Now, wedding gifts. Let's talk about this reasonably.
Yeah.
It seems to me when a marriage breaks up, There are lots of ways to deal with wedding gifts.
True.
Wedding gifts are given to a couple. I mean, can you make a decision now that the wedding gifts that came from her side of the family are hers, and the wedding gifts that came from your side of the family are yours?
For the most part, there's only really one thing that I completely disagree with, if I was to argue, would be the television, which actually was a wedding gift to us from her father. The question was put to me, what would I like from her father? What would we like? And it was a large television. When she left, we had bought a dog for my son together, and we had the dog and had raised it from a puppy.
You'll tell me about the dog in a second.
Sure.
That's part of the counterclaim.
Sure.
What you're telling me, Mr.
The dog
Schuler-
with the TV is the only thing, because she got the dog, I got the TV. That was the agreement, period.
No, did you agree with him that if... No, you didn't. I don't think you make an agreement for a TV for a dog.
No.
It wasn't a great agreement. It was something I was happy about.
Agreement. Listen
I'd rather
to
have
me.
the dog.
It's what he wanted.
Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
The TV was bought by her father.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy anything for them?
I bought, well, I should say, my husband and I bought a lot of groceries to get them started.
Things. I'm not talking about groceries. They ate the groceries.
Things. I bought some electrical kitchen appliances.
Well, those things that if you bought them, your son's going to keep.
Yeah, that's between them. I don't want any part of that.
Fine. Mr. Schuler, her father bought the TV. Buy another TV.
Fine.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know how you get along with the other in-laws, but really,
Wonderfully.
This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing, and I have a
It
sense that your son
started
is
out
right in the
good.
middle, and he's very embarrassed by the whole thing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Schuler is suing her estranged husband, Dana Schuler, and his mother, Dorothy Schuler, for her belongings.
All right, now let's get to this cross-complaint. How long were you together after you moved up from where you had been living?
6 months.
Okay. Did you call Mrs. Schuler and ask her to borrow money for a van?
Yes.
Did you pay it back?
I gave her some money for it, yes.
How much did you give her?
$150.
Did you give her $150 in check or cash?
I believe it was in cash.
Okay. Did she give you any money towards that amount?
No, ma'am.
When did you give it to her?
After I got a job when I moved up there.
Okay. What else do you claim she owes you for? Because the countersuit is yours.
Okay. There is $4,800 in back rent due.
Let's hear about the back rent. She lived there for how many months?
Okay, she moved in March. My son was already living there.
Already living in the house?
Yes, I had
How
rented
long
it
had he
to
lived
him.
in the house?
He rented it in January.
And what was the rent he was paying?
$800 a month.
Mr. Schuler, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you claim that he was paying you the $800 a month?
Not at that time, no. He had been injured on the job and wasn't
So
working.
he wasn't paying you rent?
Not at that time.
Pay attention, Mrs. Schuler. Now, she moved up there.
Yes.
She had to borrow the money to move there, you say, from you, which she agrees. She borrowed
Mm-hmm.
$650 from you. On the day that she moved in, or before, did you have an agreement with her about paying rent?
I would
The
say
answer
it was
is either
about
yes or no.
a week later.
What happened a week later?
I said the rent is $800 a month, and the two of you are going to have to pay the rent because I can't afford to support you.
Okay, and what did she say to you?
She said, fine.
That's not a contract. That's not a contract. The contract is you have a lease. Your lease is 6 months. Your lease is month to month. You're each responsible for half the rent. You pay $400. He pays $400. What I'm getting is she moved up there to live with your son. Your son was living in your home. He wasn't paying rent. She comes up there, and you were at some point became annoyed that the rent wasn't being paid. You had a discussion with her. But you didn't enter into a rental agreement with her. And in addition to that, how many months did she live there?
Too many.
How many months did she live there, Mrs. Schuler?
About 6 months, yeah.
6 months. At $800 a month, you claim that she owes you the full rent, $4,800. That's what your countersuit says.
Okay.
Even if I believed you that you had a rental agreement with her, which I don't, why would you want to charge her for all the rent?
I don't.
Well, that's what you say here, ma'am.
The only
I'm looking
way...
at your I'm looking at your counterclaim. You say $4,800 in back rent.
Yes, of which half would be hers.
That's not what you say here. You say total back rent, $4,800. Moving expenses, $800. You just told me it was $650.
No, it was $650.
No.
I wrote it down, $650 here.
And unpaid vet bills,
Yes.
$1,050.
Yes. She called.
So A, I find as follows, that she does owe you money for moving expenses.
May I tell you a little bit more on the rent? They had a sub-renter who paid me $200 a month. He was there 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that dropped the rent to them to $600.
Okay, so according to you now, the entire rent was $4,800, which you're attributing to her, but you didn't put in here that there was a sub-renter who paid 200 times 4 is $800.
I had deducted
Just a
that.
second, $800. You did not deduct that from your counterclaim. So that would bring it down to $4,000, right? And even if I believed you that you entered into an agreement with her, her share of the rent would only be half, which would only be $2,000. So I'm having some problems with you, Mrs. Schuler. I just think that you are interjecting yourself into whatever's going on here, and you probably shouldn't. Now let's talk about the vet bills. Who paid the vet bills?
I did.
The two of you had a dog?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The dog got sick?
Yeah, had parvo.
Okay.
It was a puppy.
Okay. Who asked your mother for money?
Julie.
I did.
What did you say to her?
I asked her to split it with my father, the money for the vet bill for the dog so she doesn't die.
Okay. And how much was the total vet bill?
It's $1,100.
Okay. Show me proof that you gave her, you say $1,050 for the vet bills.
She had those receipts. I didn't, ma'am.
Are you her father?
Yes.
Step up here, sir. Did you pay for any part of these vet bills for the dog?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay?
Julie has the figures here. I think it was about $600 or $700 all told.
They were in Southern California. I'm in Northern California, which is why I don't have any records.
I paid for the
The
dog.
records you keep with you. The records travel. Now, how do you know how much she paid?
The Visa is his, the MasterCard is hers, the check is mine, and the cash was ours together.
How much was the MasterCard? I see Visa, 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 Visa. You don't have the Visa, is that right?
Oh.
Most of this stuff is paid by Visa, madam.
All I could do was go back up by the numbers and know whether it was mine or not. I won't argue with her.
Well,
It's
I
not
will
worth
tell you
it.
right now, the only MasterCard payment is $228.79, not $1,000. How many children do you have, Mrs. Schuler?
5.
Any of them married?
All 5.
Okay. I don't know how you get along with the other in-laws, but clearly this is not...
Wonderfully.
Well, this is not a good thing. This is not a
no.
good thing, and I have a
It
sense that your
started
son is
out
right in the
good.
middle, and he's very embarrassed by the whole thing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mrs. Schuler, I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible. I find it very difficult to believe what you're telling me, Mrs. Schuler. You should butt out.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Julie Schuler is suing her estranged husband, Dana Schuler, and his mother, Dorothy Schuler, for her belongings.
So far, I find that she owes you $500 for the moving expenses and $228.79 from the vet bills.
And there was also $1,000 charged to a credit card for an engine put in a vehicle during the time they were married.
Who asked you to do that?
He asked me just to put my card up as security, and they weren't supposed to. They were supposed to have paid for it, and instead I got stuck with it.
Sue your son. You know, if your son asks you to put something on a credit card, then you put something on a credit card.
And she did agree to pay the rent.
Mrs. Schuler, I'm trying to be as nice to you as possible. You filed a paper before me in which you say she owed you $4,800 in back rent. That's what you signed. That's what you swore to. Quiet and listen. $4,800 is the entire rent for the property for 6 months. Your son lived there. Not only did your son live there, but you had another renter that was living there that was giving you money, $200. I find it very difficult to believe what you're telling me, Mrs. Schuler. You should butt out and let them resolve their differences without you. Now, you're going to get your property back. You're going to have to make a trip. I strongly urge you not to be there when she comes up to separate whatever property there is. So I think that that's a very good idea. I have a sense, Mrs. Schuler, that the plaintiff and your son would be able to resolve this almost amicably and without a lot of stress if you weren't there. All right, on your counterclaim, I'm awarding you $1,028. You're going to get all of your property back. All right? Now, why don't you sit down? Why don't you sit down? I am calling the next case. Would you call that case, please?
Judge, this is case number 701 on the calendar in the matter of Noosa versus Schuler.
Mr. Noosa, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant money
Yes.
prior to the marriage.
Yes.
What was the money for?
I initially loaned the defendant $3,500 as a retainer for a lawyer to get custody and visitation for his son, which he didn't have at the time.
Okay, so you asked him for money.
I did not ask him for money.
How did that happen?
My soon-to-be ex-wife asked him for the money and convinced me that it was something he could afford and something he could do. And we all went forward with it. I was kind of reluctant, to be quite honest, because of the kind of money that was involved. I mean, it's a very nice gesture, and it means a lot to me to this day. However, it's one of those things that...
Mr. Noosa, did you ever have a discussion with the defendant with regard to this $3,500?
Yes.
Tell me when that occurred and what you said to him and what he said to you.
When I agreed to loan him the money, they're sitting in my den, he and my daughter. I made it very clear this was a loan to him and had nothing to do with my daughter, and it was a loan, not a gift.
Did you say that while you were all together in the room?
Yes.
Does that sound familiar to you, Mr. Schuler?
I believe so.
Did he say to you, this is a loan to you?
He did say it was a loan.
Fine. Good. That's it. $3,500. How much did you pay back?
$200.
Is that right?
No. The loan that's in dispute here was a subsequent loan to him. He came to me alone on January 23rd and said he had found a house because the custody order he got required a separate bedroom for his son, Alec. They found this house in Woodland Hills, and they didn't have the first and last month's rent. I once again explained to him this was a loan, not a gift. He agreed to that, and I wrote him a check on that date for $3,000. Since the initial loan was made on September 24th, I have received one payment in the form of a check for $175 in December from his mother. And this is the check for the loan that's in dispute.
Yes, sir. I'll hear you on this.
That was something, again, that Julie had asked on our behalf to be borrowed, and what Bill said to me when he gave the check over was, I am loaning this to you, not my daughter. I totally disagree with that.
Just a second.
Completely.
Did he tell you that?
He told me that, and I never agreed to it, and I don't agree with it still.
No, you did agree to it, Mr. Schuler. You did agree to it, sir, because if he says to you, I'm loaning this money directly to you, not your daughter, then you agree to it, Mr. Schuler, because
if that's what it means, I agree.
Because you took the check.
Okay.
Now, if you said, I don't agree with that it's for both of us,
I just don't think I responded. I think I just took the check.
then you, by your actions,
Okay.
sir, you created a contract.
Okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
I find right now $3,500, $3,000 is $6,500 less $175, which was paid.
Yes.
$63.25.
That's right.
Now, when you moved out of the premises, there was money returned.
Right.
How much?
$3,000.
What did you do with it?
He took $2,000, put it down in his apartment that he got with the roommate that we had at that house.
Does that sound familiar?
No, it doesn't.
How much do you think she gave you?
I honestly think it was around $800.
Could it have been $1,000?
It could have been $1,000, but it's right around that. It wasn't any
Well,
more than that.
whatever it is, if
Right.
it was anywhere around $1,000, sir, you're well over the limit. What Mr. Noosa is asking for in this judgment is $5,000. Clearly, you owe him that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'm really glad to have it over with and done and some resolve in our marriage situation. And I'm glad she's getting her stuff back, really. That's how I feel.
Our marriage wasn't concrete, wasn't solid. We had trust issues, and I didn't like living up there, and he was away.
She created problems in my family. She got in my face. She dictated to me and, in essence, threatened me. And that just turned me off.
There was a million excuses. Bonus checks, this payment, losing jobs, losing wallet. You name it, I've heard it.
Be careful who you marry.
How old are you, Valerie?
9.
Would you like to talk to me privately?
Yes. Yes.
A child's secret in the judge's chambers.
Valerie over here is very bright and lovely. I'm sure wouldn't mind my sharing with you. First of all, she loves chocolate. She had 2 pieces. What's your first name?
Christopher.
Christopher, this is your mom.
Yes.
And you're Mrs. Younts.
I am Mrs. James.
Mrs. James. This is your daughter.
Right.
2 of you are suing the defendant for back child support, your support.
Yes.
You say that you were really forced to leave your mother's home as a result of abuse.
Yes.
You went to your grandmother's home when
Yes.
you were still under the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when you went to your grandmother's house?
16.
16. And you've now turned 18.
Yes.
How long did you live with your grandmother?
9 months.
So it's 9 months support that you are requesting, is that
Yes.
right? You also have a claim here for some mental anguish that leads you to a figure of $5,000.
Yes.
But let's talk about the support first.
Okay.
Why did you leave your mother's home?
Because of the abuse that I was receiving.
From whom?
My mother's fiance, Larry Updegraff.
Is that him?
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes.
Larry. What kind of abuse?
Physical, mental, verbal. I get kicked, punched, hit, pinched, poked, just about anything you can think of. And
Is that why you left?
yes.
Miss Winkle, did you know about what was going on in your house?
Yes, I did, Judge.
What did you know?
I knew that Christopher had a problem with authority. We have very strict rules in our household, and he did not want to follow them.
Did you witness any corporal punishment of your son by your fiancé?
The only thing I've ever witnessed is he was grabbed by the shoulder and scolded very toughly in his face, period.
Did your son ever complain to you that he was hit by your fiancé?
He complained about it, yes.
How many times did he complain about it?
Maybe 2 that I can recall,
What did he tell you?
that he was hitting him.
And you discussed that with Larry?
Yes, I did.
Larry admit that he had hit him?
He did not say that he actually hit him. He grabbed him.
Was anything resolved with regard to your fiancé putting his hands on your son?
Yes, I asked him not to touch him.
And what did he say?
He said, that's fine.
Which must, Miss Winkle, lead you to believe that he had, in fact, put his hands on your son.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Did your son tell you that he was going to his grandmother's house?
That was a family discussion, and that was a decision that was made by all, not specifically Christopher.
Okay. Now, he came to your house, and he was there for 9 months.
Right.
Why did he leave?
Because I feel he did not want to follow the rules.
Honest. Good. Thank you. Okay. Now, were you getting child support for him from any source in the 9 months that he was living with your mother?
I have a record of the child support from the Child Support Division that I'd like you to take a look at.
No.
That has the records. Yes,
So-
I was supposed to.
Not supposed to. Did you actually receive?
No.
Can I see the printout? Is that, I assume that's a printout from
Yes,
the
ma'am.
state?
It certainly is.
Let me see it.
I also have a copy.
Well, let me see yours. I'll be more than happy to look at both. So how much did you actually receive from his father?
$240 total.
Now, I want you to look at these records. You have indicated here that there are some things that are yellow lined. How much does it indicate here that your mother received for your support from your father?
Over $1,000.
You receive a certain amount of money. You're supposed to receive, what, $100?
I was supposed to receive $120.
Just for his support?
Just for his support per month.
This printout seems to indicate that for one block period, you received $676.09 paid.
Paid to me?
Yes.
I'd have to look at that, Judge.
Well, take a look at it. And then there is another figure here of $100.
After I turned 18.
See, he was not living at his grandmother's at that time.
It doesn't make any difference. This was his support.
Right.
Did you give that to him?
No.
Well, you should have. It's his support. It's not yours. It's not your money.
Right.
This isn't alimony.
Oh, I understand that.
Child support. So.
Right. I understand that. I also tried to help him in November of last year establish the fact that he was deserving of his child support because he'd already turned 18.
Well, if you helped him and you got the money, then you should have given it to him.
I don't know why they sent it to me.
But you spent it.
Yes, I did.
Well, then you have to give that to him. So there we know about it.
No problem.
And what about, we'll show her this $697 that is amount received and amount paid out.
I never received that. There's also ADC owing to the state of Oregon. Because I was on welfare at certain amounts of time.
Oh, well, that makes it a little more complicated.
She's still on welfare status as the paper state.
So that the state is taking that money? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
You did not receive that $600?
No, I did not.
How much money did you receive then, in addition to this $100 of the $96 payments? You received $250?
$240.
$240 plus the 100. Okay, that brings us up to $340. Now, why do you think that I should make this $340 into $5,000?
Because of the years of abuse that I sustained by Larry Updegraff. He has a very violent nature. He has been to court many times. In fact, I have court records in my folder of an abuse against my mother, which was filed.
The reason these situations occurred are directly to Christopher Younce's behavior. Of course, parents get in arguments over children. And this little boy had a problem with authority, and he still does.
Christopher!
Yes.
There isn't a question in my mind that there was a behavior problem, and the behavior problem lasted until the time you went to your grandmother's house. I mean, she was honest with me today. She said you couldn't follow the rules and you left. So you do have a problem. Now, what started that problem, I don't know. And it could very well be that the situation in your home precipitated his acting out behavior. That's a possibility. Yes. You know, children are born as blank slates.
Yes, they are.
So, you know, some people say that you're pre-programmed for certain kinds of behavior, but what goes on in your house certainly has an impact on that. You know, it's half nature, half nurture. It's very foolish to allow somebody who is not related to discipline your child. It's outrageous to allow someone who is not related to that child to exercise any form of corporal punishment on that child, and that was a very bad thing, and you permitted it in your house.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So let me tell you this, Miss Winkle. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be supportive.
He refused to speak to me since Christmas.
Okay. He's angry.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christopher Younce is suing his mother for his child support. He also claims he was abused by his mother's boyfriend, Larry Updegraff.
You want to step up here? Tell me who you are.
My name is Kelly Cornick, and I'm a teen advocate in Lincoln City.
Ms. Cornick, he now, I understand, lives in a program. Is he living in your program?
Yes, he is.
Is he behaving himself any better?
At first, because of the abuse that he received, and I know that I'm an abused child myself, he was confused, he was disillusioned, he was discouraged. He had dropped out of school, and it appeared to me that it had to do with his mother and Larry Updegraff using drugs and being abusive with not only Christopher, but also Christopher's brother, which he was terrified to say anything, Chris, at the time, before he left home, which is why he felt pressured to leave home because he knew that if he left the home, his brother would receive the abuse he was receiving. He was also afraid for Valerie, okay? And
Valerie is his sister?
Valerie's his sister. She's right there.
Is he doing better now?
He is doing very well. Christopher is now back in school on a stable level. Okay, he's going to school every day.
How long has he lived in your facility?
He's been in my facility for 9 months.
And been behaving himself at least
He
for the
tried
last
to
6?
misbehave, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Your Honor, and there is no way that he can get over on me. Okay? Okay?
I know about that.
Okay, the other part of it is, I know you do, Christopher is doing splendidly now, and as
That's
you can
good.
see, you know, and he's much happier.
Are you working as well?
Yes, I am.
Where are you working?
I work at Burger King.
Good, well, that's a start.
Yes.
How many hours a week?
I get on the average of 25 to 35.
And he does support. He does put his part in for the
Great.
household.
He's 18 years old, and that's okay. So let me tell you this, Miss Winkle. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to be supportive.
He refused to speak to me since Christmas.
Okay. He's angry.
I understand.
Step up here, sir. How long have you two been together?
9 years.
9 years. Is there any reason why 9 years and you still have a fiancé status?
None.
What do you do for a living?
I currently work at Chinook Winds Casino.
How many hours do you work?
About 35.
On the books or off?
On.
On. How long have you been working there?
Approximately 3 months.
Before that, where did you work?
I wasn't employed.
How are you supporting yourself?
Well, actually, I was self-employed. I have a computer at the house, and I do graphics and rendering. I have a degree in architecture and design.
For how many years weren't you employed with a steady income?
Approximately 2.5.
And what kind of work do you do?
I am a seasonal horseback beach guide.
Well, how does your family support itself?
Child support.
Shh. Shh. How does your family support itself? You have 2 other children at home?
Very difficultly in the winter months. It's seasonal. I've been
Well,
looking
why don't
for
you all work full time?
Because I've been looking for work.
Okay. Tell me your name.
Valerie.
Valerie, come on up here. Right here. Hi.
Hi.
You know who I am? How old are you, Valerie?
9.
9? Would you like to talk to me privately?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you come back here? Bring her back.
Watch your step. Come down here. There you go.
You hurt me, Mother.
I'm ashamed.
Yeah,
Family don't do this to family. So you need to shut your mouth. Stop
Hey,
it.
shut up.
Now.
You don't belong here.
Stop it.
All of you, stop
You need
it.
to butt out.
Stop it.
Yeah, shows how childish you are.
Have seats. Have seats.
Go ahead.
See what she did to me?
What? Don't worry about it. Don't get upset.
I'm not, because I'll never speak to my mother or my son again.
He's a liar.
Never. And he's lying.
Yeah.
Lying through his teeth. Poor abused little boy. She's taking all the credit for it. I don't care. She's taking all the credit for what good he is. I hope he's proud of himself. I hope he's proud of what he's done. I hope you're all proud of what you've done. You're disgusting.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I want you to try to now erase the slate for a minute. You're the mother. It's never supposed to be too hard for you.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Christopher Younts and his grandmother, Valerie James, are suing Chris's mother, Ronnie K. Winkle, for his child support.
Okay, you go sit with Larry.
Order.
Come on, baby doll.
Okay. So let's see what the things that Valerie over here, who's very bright and lovely, I'm sure wouldn't mind my sharing with you, other than the, first of all, she loves Godiva chocolate. She had 2 pieces. Second, she says that she's very happy in your home. She's very happy with you, sir, and she's very happy with her mother. But you don't work out of the house during the day or the night because you're home. That's why she's so happy. She's happy that you're home. So it's not a good thing to lie to a judge. Very stupid thing, sir. Second thing is, her 12-year-old brother is currently living with his father. Bottom line is, in this case, you received $340 that belongs to your son. Now, Christopher.
Yes.
Sometimes parents don't do the right thing. You don't get compensated for that. Otherwise, the courts would be flooded with those kind of lawsuits. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You also had a problem, whatever it was, whatever your authority problem was, you continued to have that when you moved in with your grandmother. I'm glad you're doing better now.
Thank you.
So I am awarding you the $340 that your mother has, took, spent, that belongs to you. It really is gratifying to me to see a young man like you who at 18 seems to be getting back on track.
Thank you.
Now, that being said, and giving you the money that I'm going to give you, it's a good idea for children not to divorce their parents permanently.
I do not want to divorce my mother.
Perfect.
I love her.
Perfect. So I gather it's been a long time since you've communicated, is that right?
Very long time.
I want you to try to now erase the slate for a minute.
Hard.
You're the mother. It's never supposed to be too hard for you. You understand?
I do.
So you've all traveled to this court a very long distance. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is that just the 2 of you today go out for lunch. And I would really like for you to be able to spend an hour with your mom without any recriminations, without any. Just let her know what's going on with your life currently, how you are in school, how it is living, what's happening with your life.
Okay.
Okay? Just to start a dialogue. Is that reasonable?
Yes.
Okay? All right? Why don't you go out first, just the 2 of you?
Okay.
And I will prepare an order for $340. Just the 2 of you outside. And then I'll dismiss the rest of the case later.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
I'm going to let them have a private hour.
Oh, certainly.
Okay?
Sure, that's
Is that
fine.
reasonable?
Is that, sure, very nice.
Okay, I would like that to happen. This young lady, Valerie, is a lovely girl, very smart, very articulate, very bright. As I said, that's usually a combination of nature and nurture. So evidently, what was not accomplished with the 2 boys in your house, for whatever reason, was clearly accomplished with this young lady who prefers to stay with you and her mother rather than going with her biological father where her brother is. There is something to be said for that, right? Sure. So sometimes you have to get the whole puzzle put into place. It's not always at one end of the spectrum or another. Sometimes there's a middle ground, right?
That's true.
Okay. So why don't you folks meet your daughter and your grandson back here in 1 hour so that you can make your plane. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I love both of them with all my heart, and that's why I'm here.
Actually, it's probably much better that they're able to talk and get along and go to lunch.
I think it was good, and I don't want our family to break apart again.
तुसानू सुनावा मैं दुखिया शहर लोको दुखिया वे शहर लोको कुछ तुसानू सुनावा मैं शहजाद वे नालो को कुम वेशे कैसी छिला मंडी दगिरा लो को कुम वेशे कैसी छिला मंडी दगिरा लो को छम छम रोंदा ए जानदा जावे दिकबाल दर्द बच्चे दा की होंदा ए जानदा जावे दिकबाल दर्द बच्चे दा की होंदा ए साथी क्यों मोड़ के आ शहजाद इकबाल सुना दुनिया जल्दी वे छोड़ के आ शहजाद इकबाल सुना दुनिया जल्दी वे छोड़ के आ शक्लियों नार ऐसी 24 दिसंबर 2006 नाड़े दिन एतवार ऐसी 24 दिसंबर 2006 नाड़े दिन एतवार ऐसी दुखां दी सुनावा में सोन शहजाद वाले कुछ शेर बनावा में सोन शहजाद वाले कुछ शेर बनावा में जुदाई वे पह गई है जुदाई वे पह गई है वो बख्शिश कर रब सोना बस याद ही रह गई है बख्शिश करे रब सोना बस याद ही रह गई है ख्याल लोको याद शहजाद दी विच रोंदा जावे दिकबाल लोको याद शहजाद दी विच रोंदा जावे दिकबाल लोको नहीं जांदी है हुन दिला तो नहीं जांदी है ओ रोंदी मौशमी मख्तर याद शहजाद दी आंदी है रोंदी मौशमी मख्तर ओ रोंदी मौशमी मख्तर याद शहजाद दी जांदी है तुवे विसाल तेरा दुखों विच रोंदा है वीर शहराज इकबाल तेरा ओ दुखों विच रोंदा है दुखों विच रोंदा है वीर शहराज इकबाल तेरा करासीगा कद दीदार करासीगा ओ आईना ते मुस्कान रोंदी वीर कद मुड़िया सीगा आईना ते मुस्कान रोंदी ओ आईना ते मुस्कान रोंदी वीर कद मुड़िया सीगा जकरा छोड़े जख्म जकरा छोड़े ना चीज जावेद पुंछी ने दुख दिल दे सुना छोड़े ना चीज जावेद पुंछी ने ना चीज जावेद पुंछी ने दुख दिल दे सुना छोड़े दुख दिल दे सुना छोड़े दुख दिल दे सुना छोड़े
सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे फोन च में कहंदा हथ जोड़ सजना सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे फोन च में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तो छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ के जावण दे लोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तो छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ के जावण दे लोड़
जी तरती नी लभदी ओ जानिया गल मेरी मन न तू कर मन मानिया पुणछ जी तरती नी लभदी ओ जानिया गल मेरी मन न तू कर मन मानिया
बस तुर जोर जन पुंछ नु छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ नी जावन दे लोड़ बस तुर जोर जन पुंछ नु छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ नी जावन दे लोड़
सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे फोन च में कहंदा हथ जोड़ सजना सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे फोन च में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तो छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ के जावण दे लोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तो छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ के जावण दे लोड़
कहंदा हथ जोड़ रख ले तू लाज मेरी भुखड़ा ना मोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़
देश मेरा पुंछ ते बल्लियां दा डेरा ए सैक देने लोकी बस जिद्दी डोल मेरा ए देश मेरा पुंछ ते बल्लियां दा डेरा ए सैक देने लोकी बस जिद्दी डोल मेरा ए
कटनी रे जोर मेरा दिल ना तरोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ ने जावन दिलोड़ कटने रे जोर मेरा दिल ना तरोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ ने जावन दिलोड़
सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़ सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़ दिला दनी सौदा कर दे लोक मेरे शहर दे लामदनी वेख दिल कदे पिंड वेर दे दिला दनी सौदा कर दे लोक मेरे शहर दे लामदनी वेख दिल कदे पिंड वेर दे
भुल गल लोकां वाली रस्म ए छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़ भुल गल लोकां वाली रस्म ए छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ ने जावन दिलोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ ने जावन दिलोड़
पुंछ रा जोर सुनी सारी कश्मीर वे वतन ए सुन सड़ा जन्नत नजीर वे पुंछ रा जोर सारी सोनी कश्मीर वे वतन ए सुन सड़ा जन्नत नजीर वे
चल वे जावेद गड़ी पुंछ नु मोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ चल वे जावेद गड़ी पुंछ नु मोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़
सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़ सजना रे जोरी दिया नखरे वे छोड़ चल मेरे पुंछ में कहंदा हथ जोड़
वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़ वास्ताई जान मेरी जिद तू छोड़ दूर तेरा पुंछ की जावन दिलोड़
उस शहर नू उजाड़ देवां जिथे तेनू कैद कीता उस जेल नू साड़ देवां जिथे तेनू कैद कीता जिथे तेनू कैद कीता उस जेल नू साड़ देवा परेशान जिया जून हो गई जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच कारी कानून हो गई जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच कारी कानून हो गई क्यों माड़ी तकदीर हो गई मैं राज तेरे सदमे विच दुखी जम्मू कश्मीर हो गई मैं राज तेरे सदमे विच मैं राज तेरे सदमे विच दुखी जम्मू कश्मीर हो गई सच दी गवाही होवे जान भी हाजिर है शाला तेरी रिहाई होवे जान भी हाजिर है जान भी हाजिर है कदे तेरी रिहाई होवे तेरा शहर आबाद सी अल्लाह सोना रहम कर सी राजमंद की आजाद सी अल्लाह सोना रहम कर सी अल्लाह सोना रहम कर सी राजमंद की आजाद सी शहर नू उजाड़ देवा जिथे तेनू कैद कीता उस जेल नू साड़ देवा जिथे तेनू कैद कीता जिथे तेनू कैद कीता उस जेल नू साड़ देवा परेशान जिया जून हो गई जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच कारी कानून हो गई जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच जम्मू कश्मीर दे विच कारी कानून हो गई कोई खबर ना हुई यारो हक सच कर दे हथ जोड़ सुनिया जल्दी तू आवेगा तेरी दुनिया नू लोड़ सुनिया जल्दी तू आवेगा जल्दी तू आवेगा तेरी दुनिया नू लोड़ सुनिया सारी दुनिया वे रोंदी है मैं राज तेरा सुन के वे तकलीफ दिल नो होंदी है मैं राज तेरा सुन के वे मैं राज तेरा सुन के वे तकलीफ दिल नो होंदी है से छूट दी टोसी अल्लाह सोना अदर कर सी चला हक दिवे जीतो सी अल्लाह सोना अदर कर सी अल्लाह सोना अदर कर